What's up, Internet? We are here hiding behind the save machine in the Orkalfin coast in Opoona. We have got to do some stuff that I can't really remember what I needed to do, but I took notes on some stuff we could do, so there is that. It's mostly going back to Tokyo and strengthening some relationships, but before we do that, we got to get the sweeper license and do some stuff with that. Now, the problem is that I went to a guide to try and help solve the problem of I couldn't figure out what to do with the sweeper medal, and the only guide I could find that would help basically just said go talk to some guy in this general vague area. So we might not be in the best position, but we're gonna have fun and we're gonna get lost on the path of life, and maybe we'll learn how to be a janitor, and maybe we'll just get eaten by monsters, who knows. But anyway, our first step is Artilia, where we're going to try and get our license. I did a lot of research on trying to build up friendships and stuff, because that is really genuinely important towards the end of the game, which we are getting up there. I have to figure out what the hell we're going to do after this. And Live Alive, and Gotcha Force. Gotcha Force is going to end this week. That's... Man... I'm gonna... I won't have an excuse to play more Gotcha Force now. That's sad. You know, I've got a couple ideas of games I want to play, but they're mostly long-form RPGs, and I'm not sure how many people appreciate that. Like, flat out, I know my live stream recordings on YouTube are, like, not watched at all, and I think doing more of the same long-form RPGs, which are kind of some of my favorite stuff, probably won't go down so well if I actually want to get, more views, which would be nice. The problem is, this is, like, the only way I get to play long-form RPGs anymore is if I, like, make the excuse it's kind of for my job at this point. And, they're kind of my favorites. So, I'd very much like... Are we in Artilia? I can't actually tell. I think the lighting screams Artilia. It's kind of got, like, an orangey, pinky hue. I think we're in Artilia. Yes, we are. Okay, so we gotta find a cafe and talk to some guy. That's what my notes say, and that's what a guide I'm referencing told me. So I'm gonna say we go down to 2th floor. And there's actually quite a lot of stuff we're still missing out on, but baby steps. We'll do our best to figure out what we need to do. Okay, so we need to find like a cafeteria sort of area. That's a shopping area. It would help if I knew what the cafeteria logo looked like. That's where we go play ukulele. Actually, we might be able to go play the ukulele. Let's go do that. Just so we can say we do that. Actually, I was, like I said, kind of looking into a bunch of stuff, and the guide advises not playing too much ukulele, because at one point you could actually, like, lose something. You have to play 50 times. That's when you stop being a ukulele trainee. But we still play... because we still love what we do, which is the ukulele, I guess. I mean, that's why I still make videos, despite the fact that I still don't have much of a following, and I've been doing it for almost a decade. This is what I love to do, and it's literally, like, the most successful at anything I've ever been at, which is really kind of depressing. But still, this is what I like doing, so this is what I'm doing, because I don't know how else to live my life. So we played some ukulele. Hooray, now we gotta do it probably at least 30 more times, so... we're probably never actually going to finish that, but one way or another. We got to find a cafeteria sort of area. This looks like a living quarters. This is sort of like the greater, like, hub area. So, let's see. That's the central circle. I should probably just get my hoverboard around here. What looks like... Okay, there's the TV thing. I don't think we have enough points yet. Cemetery, that's not what we need. Although, cemetery with cafeteria access, art hall. It might be in the central circle, honestly. Art cafe, that sounds like where we need to go. Let's go here. Maybe we'll find some guy and we'll get our license. That would be nice. You look like some guy. I was kind of hoping you were going the other way, Bobby. I would love for to apprentice with you and learn how to make people go away and clean up all the messes. Yes, that's literally what I've been trying to do for a while. Hooray! We're a sweeper now. So let's do some sweeping. And by that, I mean click on bits of garbage and collect them, apparently. Now I gotta go to the job center. Basically, for this entire thing, if I recall, this entire thing is basically going to be go to the job center, come back, pick up a bunch of crap in that room, go to the job center, come back. It rinse and repeat, basically. But you know what? We're making progress. I don't think we absolutely need this license to beat the game, but again, it's something that was kind of bugging me that we didn't have. And I know this license opens up some stuff. I know there's a friendship thing you need to have this for. I think this is who I need to talk to. No, I don't need that. I need a new quest. It'd be nice if you could just do this through your little, like, space phone thingamabob. I need the sweeper thing. Cleaning job at the open cafe. Like, literally where we were. And we need to pick up, like, 75% of trash. Okay. It's weird how they know exactly how much trash there is in individual units, and how many we need to actually be considered a success, but okie doke. I'm willing to accept that as video gaminess, being video gaminess, I guess. I feel it's weird that they specifically know that when we should probably have to go back to what's-his-name to watch us pick up trash instead of just helping, seeing as he also is a sweeper. But, you know, whatever. We're gonna go be janitors now. My name's Opoona. Also, I think there's something else we have to go to at Lifeborn for. It's a strong sweeper name. Okay, that's a nonsensical statement, but alright. Still 40 pieces of rubbish. And we're on a time limit because of course. That's very arbitrary. But okie doke. Let's pick up some trash. Ooh, we do need wallpapers because wallpapers is good. Also, we should probably go back to the Orkulfin Coast because I think they said they're gonna have more treasure there, and that would probably summon another boss we can fight. So we gotta remember to do that. Leave the cans alone. I think I got it. Alright, let's go pick up some trash. Awesome RPG adventure. Let's go. Be a janitor. C button? Okay. That's on the nunchuck because this game is a single control, single button game. If you want it to be. I don't use the nunchuck too much, and that's actually awkward. I'm going to use the A button because that's just more comfortable for me. Okay, so we're not to pick up the cans. Got it. Garbage, 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 garbage. I want to collect all of it just so I can get that wallpaper. Even though we just got a new wallpaper, you know. It's always fun to have more wallpapers. Plus, you know, getting to swap it up every now and then, it's fun. Oh, it looks like garbage. Gem! Not actually garbage, but gem. And the holograms. And the last thing I ever heard about that was that bad movie that came out many years ago that no one talks about. I remember bringing it up when I was playing Blue Destiny 3. I was thinking about that recently, because it's like, well, I could do that for Saturday, but I already did play through it. Do I want to? Do I need to? Should I? It's more Blue Destiny, and I do like Blue Destiny. I also thought about doing the whole Side Stories compilation game. I dislike that game. From a gameplay perspective, it's very, very samey and not very good. But at the same time, where's garbage, 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 garbage? There's one. There's two more. Where is it? Can. Garbage. Alright, we're missing one. Is it in here? That'd be kind of a jerk move. Garbage! Ha! And that's a wallpaper for us. Might as well pick up the cans now. Not because we need to, but just to save Bobby some time. You know, we're just nice about that, even if it hurts our hoverboard. Why not? There we go. I did it, Bobby. You owe me a wallpaper. And you have to teach me how to kill people, like you promised. Alright, we got wallpaper 8 gray. Nice. I picked up a gem. I don't know what those are for offhand, but we got it. Alright. I do like this blue, but alas, we have a new wallpaper, which means we have to swap to it. It's just a rule. I gotta say, that's not bad, but that blue was really nice. That was a nice blue wallpaper. Alright, let's go be more of a sweeper. Gotta get the next quota. But yeah, we gotta go to Lifeborn, I think, for some friendship stuff. And I think we get a stat boost if we talk to someone specific. Although I might have already done that. I'm loosely writing notes. Excuse me. But, I wrote some notes of stuff we can do. There's a thing we might have to do at Blue Desert that involves a thing for Tokyo and that involves another license we can get. We need some sand weasels, basically. I actually might still have sand weasels. I'm not sure. I might have sold them already. But that's something to consider. But basically the big things for now are to do the sweeper stuff, go to Tokyo and make some friends, or rather strengthen our friendships. And if anything happens beyond that, that'll just be bonus. I already did the attendance stuff. Rumor has it there is a final stage. I think the next thing we have to do, like, that's actually, like, plot important is to go to the Intelligent Sea, which I think we need to do for something else as well. But okay, so where's the... That's literally here, isn't it? Is there a person here that's gonna give us tips? Who is Zen? Okay, so maybe it's someone on a top floor that we're missing out on? Because, like, they said the job lobby, which I would think would be this place. Let's talk to him again and see if we can get slightly better information. Or at least slightly clearer information. This might just be translation being a little weird. Yes, please. That's exactly what I want. Okay, we need to clean at the lobby. The detailed information will be the center manager in the Lifeborn Job Admin Center. Okay, so this is the License Control Center. I don't know what the difference between those two things is. But do we have a map? There is a map, GPS, thank you. That's not a useful map at all. Alright, well, I guess we're going to wander around until we find the License Administrative Center, I guess. Well, that didn't help. Where is someone important? I guess we'll just bug everyone until we find someone with a specific name. I feel safe in the knowledge it's probably not where we play our ukulele. And I don't think it's in the little, like, gacha area. That's cool. This game has just a lot of really cool stuff, so I'm comfortable saying it's probably not there. This is the shopping center, but maybe there's something here for us. Museum lot, this is not where we need to go, so let's... Like, this is groundhouse entrance, which I would think would be the lobby, but maybe not. Let's wander around until we find what we're looking for. Central circle. There's the TV. Like, I'm inclined to think that where we picked this up is where we need to go. Cemetery. Don't need to go there. The art hall. No. There's a cafe. Hey, do you have another thing for me? I know you're not Zen, but maybe you... No. I don't want to do your same quest if you're not going to give me, you know, a reward or a reason to do it. That would be dumb. Okay. Okay. So there's the entrance. And the License Control Center, which sounds like where we need to go, but I guess isn't. And we went there. Although we didn't actually wander around there. Let's go back up. Maybe we'll find something up here we missed out on. Licensing Center. Pod entrance. And you guys are sure that I don't need to be here because it sounds like this is literally where you need me to be. But okay. And I think this is just leaving. Yeah, there's the dome entrance. That's not where we need to go. Okay. Again, this feels like the admin licensing thing, but we will wander around a little bit more, I guess. Let's see. We could try the gacha area again, because I do remember having to sweep up that area. There's the museum. And Groundhouse. Let's go to Groundhouse, I guess. Because that seems like it'll take us slightly somewhere more people-filled. Let's try the central area. Maybe there's something there. It could entirely be we just have to talk to someone in this area. We need to talk to someone about something. Damn it, I just want to be a janitor. Why is that so hard? Too random heart. Okie doke. You and your lottery equipment. I am an idol. And I did get to see Mimi, and she was great. I don't think we need to go to the cemetery. I feel like that's not where we need to go. Because it's a cemetery, kid. I feel like that's a concept you should understand. You, give me quest. I'm also a sweeper, and that's the important thing for me right now. Ooh. Yeah, but we're saving up for a laser coat. It involves lasers and being a coat. Okay, well, it's not the cafe. That otherwise has zero use when you think about it. That's kind of weird. And we just went in a big circle, and we're going to continue to do that because I'm inept. They want me to go to the job admin center? Okay, I might be a moron. I think I might understand what they were saying, and I think I know where my brain stopped understanding. Maybe. Let's re-listen to this, because I think it might not be in Artilia. It might be in Lifeborn. That makes a little more sense to me. Because at least that has like a separate job place, I think. Brief me again, because I'm a moron. Lifeborn. Okay, yep, see, I'm an idiot. Okay, fair enough. Now, the nice thing is, we need to go to Lifeborn for something else, unless I already did it and absent-mindedly forgot. Entirely possible, but we had to go to Lifeborn anyway, so... That's okay. I'm okay with having to go back to Lifeborn, I guess. The key right now is to finish the sweeper stuff. That's top priority stuff. I don't need the sightseeing stuff, I need the other ones. Whoopsie. You know, it'd probably just be easier for me to use just a bunch of pocket taxis, but then I'd have to be outside. But I wonder if that would save a lot of time comparatively to having to go through all this stuff. Because having to sit through this kind of sucks. Like, it's neat, and I do like those laser people you fly through that grow in size. But, you know, pocket taxis, they're just fast. And they're far more useful than I ever gave them credit for because I misunderstood their use. Because I'm inept at everything. Oh, this game is still so cool. I love this game. For all of its flaws, for all of its, like, weird amounts of grind that it gets, it's still such a great game. Alright, so we gotta go find a person at the job admin center. We also need to talk to maybe one or two other people just for friendship boosts and maybe stat boosts. Also, we could probably buy a few, like, things to boost our stats if we wanted to. I think roulette pizza's the one we need. I think we need to talk to Mac. Because I think he boosts your stats a little, although I might have already done this. Don't tell anyone that I told you a thing, because that's what good people do. License Control Center, that's not quite it. I think it's down another floor. Looking for the Job Admin Center. I'm pretty sure that's the guy that tells you there's a thing. And that was useful because I didn't realize there was a thing until I talked to him. Main lobby. This sounds like where we need to clean up. And this looks like Ranger Station. That's not quite right. Well, poop. Did I overshoot it and we have to go back up a few flights of stairs? I think we did. What's in there? Well, it's good they're living happily, but I would like to know what happened to them. I don't think we've actually been in here. Oh, it's the admin room. That works out well. I mean, I did. I just wasn't really allowed to see them because conspiracy shit. I'm not sure we've been around here. Oh, we have, because there's a secret thing, and there's a kid hiding. And I think one of these people gives you points if you don't tell them that there's a kid hiding there. Because reasons. Which is weird, because I would think that would be antithetical to increasing your, like, integrity, because that's actively lying. But I guess that's what you have to do in Opoona. Okay, Lifeborn Lobby. Let's try going up. There's the guy who tells you there's a thing. Unfortunately, that's not what we're looking for right now. We're looking for the job thing. License Control Center? Maybe they... Okay, so it's not going to be the boarding gate. Looking for the Job Admin Center, which I guess would be the license control. Again, this might be an instance of weird translation being weird. Yeah, License Admin Center. So this is where we need to go. I guess we need to get to the back door of this area. And to do that, we need to, I think, go through this way. I've been back there before. It's just, you don't go there for much. It's weird I can hover over that. I am a celebrity, by the way. Also, in spite of the fact that hoverboards can't go over water, look at this. We're able to go over these stepping stones, which clearly allow us to go over water. Consistency! What is it? Not a thing this game understands. You're not Zen. I need to talk to Zen. That makes you the guy I need to talk to. I was looking for you all the way on the other side of the world. Uh-oh. The litter in the lobbies of all 3 levels is terrible. Oh. Oh, crap. Basically, we have to clean 3 levels at once. So if we miss something, that's going to be a huge time loss. Okay, let's talk to Neneko. 3-floor lobby, got it. I mean, I could just talk to you now, you're literally here. And I can't do anything until you leave, but okay. Also, you didn't just leave, you just walked out of eyesight that I wasn't looking at and despawned. I know how this game works. I understand video games. Let's go. Okay. That face, Opoona. That's the face of someone who's absolutely trustworthy. Okay, so pick up all the crap. Okay. There's 50. Oh, crap. I'm gonna assume there's nothing behind that counter, because if there is, that would be a jerk move. There's nowhere near enough time to pick it all up. Okay. No, there was quite a lot of trash still there, actually. Okay, so I get a moment to kind of get a look at what I'm looking at. Okay, go. 30. Oh, those cans have physical presence. I can't walk past them. No, no, no. The hitboxes on these are actually, like, genuinely terrible. I wonder if there's any gems here we've been missing. Probably. I don't see any gems, though. Okay. Let's go. Fortunately, it's not actually asking us to pick up everything. It just shows us how many there are. We actually only have to pick up a small portion of it. So, like, a third of what's here. And there, we did it. Are there any gems I can pick up? Yes, there is. I knew there would be. I hope there weren't more on other levels, because I didn't pick those up. But there. We became a private janitor. Hooray! Hey, special bonus. Wow, they must have been really crappy. Alright, well that makes 2 prism gems. Now I gotta go back to Artilia. There's actually something I want to check real quick since we're here. And, since I'm here, I'd like to check my funds. Okay, stats. What was the stat we needed? I think we needed, fame. And I think we needed like 140 fame or something like that in order to get the thing we needed. So if we bought the other, what are they, roulette pizzas that increase fame, and we got really lucky, we should be good. And we should be able to get the laser coat. And I'd like a laser coat, because it's a coat made of lasers. Who doesn't want that? And what's wrong with them for not wanting that? This is not where I need to be. I think it's someone on the same floor as us. Which might have been that person. Which might have just meant we had to talk to Mary. Again, I've kind of got some rough notes based on some information I glanced off of a guide a while back. So yeah, I guess that's that. Also, that guy has a firefighter's hat that looks like it has a honeycomb on it. Like he's a bee farmer, but he dresses like he's a firefighter because he doesn't understand his job or something. Anyway, back to Artilia. We must become an even better janitor. To Artilia. Oh, we should probably grab those pizzas, shouldn't we? Also, I want to check something real quick. Do we have any? I don't think we do. Or the shaped sparkling rainbow colored gem. Very common. Not considered valuable. Could sell it. Probably shouldn't, is what they're saying. Okay. Well, that's a little annoying. Because I think you're supposed to talk to someone around here, and they give you, like, one of the stackers. Although I might have already done that. Like, I swear it was Mac, but we already talked to him, so maybe we already did that. Anyway, let's buy some pizzas. I need something that increases my fame. Arts or smarts or farts. However many of these I can store in my fat little pockets. Now, I did actually grind some stuff out on my own time, just eating all this stuff to raise my stats, so I actually have been kind of preparing, but I don't think we have enough yet. I think we need 140, so let's gorge ourselves on pizza, because that sounds like fun. Alright, also we need to use that Rafflesia for something. I know that for a fact, we just haven't talked to the person. Where's the pizza? There it is. It's first thing on the list. Of course I don't notice it. Don't need integrity, need arts. Don't need love, need fame. Don't need love, need fame. Fame. Nope. Nope. I might have picked the wrong item. Not sure. Luck increased. Nice. But my actual personal luck doesn't seem to be doing much. Oh well. We got some integrity, and at the very least that'll help us get another dog down the line. So that's a plus. But still not enough to get a laser coat. I think we might still gain some fame if we level up those, so that's good. Okay, so let's go back to Artilia and turn in this thing. Woo! Off to Artilia to get another job as a janitor. Truly the greatest RPG of all time. Certainly one of the most innovative, I'll give it that. Okie doke. Let's turn this in. Maybe we'll get some fame for being a famous janitor? Maybe? Who knows? But I think there's one more job, and I think it might have to do with cleaning up the gacha area. I swear you have to clean up paper around there too. I'm sure of it, but maybe not. I know we got to go to Intelligence C to like actually advance the plot and stuff, but I just don't feel ready for that yet. And part of that's just because there is a laser coat to be had beforehand, but I think the other part is just I know there's other stuff we could do, and I kind of want to do as much as I can. I need to turn this into you. Because 4 different desks to do effectively the job of one is not confusing at all. I'm an official sweeper. Nice. I can now sweep officially. Give me next sweeping task, please. Cleaning at Tokyo Great Track. Alright, well, we need to go to Tokyo to do a lot of stuff anyway. So it's important we do this anyway. I think this might be the thing that we need Sweeper to advance the thing anyway, so... We'll actually probably skip past that for the immediate, just to boost our friendship with some stuff. Just to do stuff in sort of a semi-proper order, because I don't know if there's a way to, like, lock stuff out if you do stuff improperly. So it just makes a lot more sense to take care of the lesser stuff before we move on to the greater, I guess. To Tokyo! We've got, I think, 3, maybe 4 friends to talk to yet. I think. I actually have them in my notes here. Actually, there might be 4 people, but we might have to go to the Blue Desert before one of them will talk to us. We'll see. But we'll take a mosey in Tokyo and try not to get too badly lost because of how awkward the place is. Because, let's be honest, Tokyo is not a well-designed area, and it's a terrible first area for the game. As much as I love it, the first area of the game, not the best designed. Okay, so we're probably going to go to Star House before any... Well, we need to go to the pet shop before anything, then Star House. Then we go to the Sweeper Nonsense. That is, I think, the order of things we need to do in the way I'd like to do them, if we can. And the pet shop should be right around here? Might be upstairs, actually, but, you know, close enough. Oh, nope, this is the pet shop. Alright. Gotta talk to someone about something. I might have already gotten it then. Give me pets. Yes, I take G-Bone for walks all the time. High-class cats are classy. Give me all your pets now, please. I'm pretty sure most of them are already mine, and you kind of stole them. Actually, we gotta go to Artilia to get another dog. Hi, Sandweasel. I'm the guy who caught you. Alright, I guess I did do that. This is the problem when you take notes from someone else's guide just to sort of give yourself a general framework. And you have a terrible memory. It's like, well, did I do this or not? Okay, I think I need to talk to you to start that quest. Or someone around here, but that's not my immediate need right now. So we're going to go to Star House. And, well, we're first going to swing by the kindergarten. Because we've got our artsy friend who definitely needs art. Star House this way. I'm already lost in Tokyo. 2 minutes back and I'm already freaking lost. Alright. So where is, I believe, the kindergarten's around here. Hooray! Welcome to kindergarten. I did arts. Hooray! Oh crap, I think sushi's what I needed to eat instead of pizza. Whoops! Spent all my money on something I can't actually use. Hooray! It sounds like we should probably talk to this guy again. I needed fame. Alas. Oh well, I boosted my integrity, which we need to get a dog, so you know what, that wasn't a complete huge sum of money wasted at all. Except it was, but you know, whatever. Okay. Now, I think this is where we need to go, if I recall. Center Hall, this sounds right. We need to talk to someone in, like, the, not this room. We need to go to Girls' Dorm. We actually do need to go here. Let's talk to our old pal Mira. Yes. I watched it. Yes. That's a weird thing to say. Thanks, our friendship has grown stronger. Okay, we gotta go to the theater. I think I know where that is. I think that's on the opposite side of the wing. Over here, I think. That looks like a film strip. I'd say that's theater-ish. Mira! Okay, just giving the student answer. That's not teaching, Mira. That's enabling and cheating. You're a... probably not, because I can't remember it, but... I'll take a guess. I want a robot cat, obviously. Which is the reason the hero of the Stray Cat Dream left on a journey. I'm just guessing nonsense. Hooray! I just guessed the most nonsense themes that sounded the most wholesome and I won. I didn't teach him anything. I gave him the answers. That's not teaching, Mira. At least for me, I'm the kind of person who needs to know the why of things, not the... I don't need to know that 2 is what 1 plus 1 equals. I need to know why that happens. I need to understand the process. That's how I learn. Knowing the answer does not help me. You're a terrible teacher, Mira, and you should feel bad about that. That was mean. You're mean, Mira. I think we gotta go to sleep and talk to her again later, but before we do that, there's someone else, I think literally here, that we have to talk to. The chemistry lab. That sounds... It's Jingle. This is who we need to know. And now we get basically a bestiary that we should have probably gotten at the beginning of the game. Whoops! Also, we basically just got a license. Sweet! I should have probably gotten this a lot sooner. There you go. Alright, well, we gotta go talk to Mira, like, tomorrow anyway, and help her with more random nonsense I'm probably not actually capable of helping with. So we're good. Let me go to bed, concierge. Ted. I don't know where my brother and sister are going to sleep, but I guess they're just going to sleep on the ground. I'm sure something has been caught by the word box. We should actually probably use these breakfast tickets. I don't think we've ever actually done that. Anyway, let's talk to Mira. We need to impress her. And ultimately, like, you know, have more friendship with Mira. We might need to go back to the theater or something. Or maybe she's just working on her thesis. Who knows? Yes. I'm pretty sure I don't, actually. I did a lot of things here. High-tech girl. Her studying seems to just be watching TV, but okay. I think we have to talk to her tomorrow now. That's fine. Gotta go talk to Jingle. Alright, Jingle. We got a sleep stone. Nice. So what'd you use the bulb for? And as a friend, we received a peace carpet. I don't know what that does. Well, now I need to know. Sleepstone. It might put an enemy to sleep. That's actually pretty useful. That's a bonbon piece, isn't it? Let's throw that on something. I want to keep that spike seed, but I think super shine. We're gonna throw that sleep stone on. That sounds awesome. Rock and roll. Alright, now, what the hell is that peace carpet thing? Peace carpet. Did I skip it? I probably did. I'm not seeing it at all. Maybe it's just a thing that goes in my house, so it's already there? I guess. Whatever. We'll come back tomorrow and bug him and Mira, because we need to get more friendships. It's important. Alright. Mira! Give me more friendship advice for TV, I guess. I think I know a fair bit. I've been to all of them. I said yes. Okay, again, this is going to be a matter of weird translation, not doing things sensibly. Dun dun dun. The newest fashion, music, and art, clearly Artelia. It's the style center of the world. Central airport and where children are raised. Well, that's gotta be Tokyo. That's where we currently are. Which high-tech city do the staff of 2 large corporations live? That's clearly the Intelligence Sea. Mira is giving us, like, nothing but backhanded compliments. She's really quite rude. An eel pack. What does... Your head will feel much better? Okay, she'll be in the sunroom, which I think is the big overhang thing. I want to point out, it's not called an eel pack, it's called an eel rice. Also, it gives me smarts and arts and maybe farts. Also, I'm now smarter. Let's go talk to Jingle. Maybe he'll give me more stuff. Give me stuff, Jingle. I mean, I can if I hadn't just... Hold on, Jingle. I'll go sell some crap. What do I not need? I can sell that. I have more than one, don't I? What? Purchase? No, I want to sell. What are you... Okay, I hit sell. If we get rid of that super shine and super mass, that'll be enough. I'm not the biggest fan of getting rid of those, but let's see what else we can do. We need 5,000 for Jingle to help with his funding. I feel like I'm helping Apple Kid. Maybe Peace Carpet meant Force Carpet? Maybe? The translation of this game is really quite odd. I don't need another one of those, so we'll sell that. And now we just need 600 more. I only have one of those, though. Eye drops. What can I sell these for? 200? It's a good start. We'll sell the multi-vaccine, and we'll sell the pocket tent. And that'll give us enough for Jingle's funding. We're holding on to that raffly shit because we got to give that to someone. You don't typically want to sell items that have the question mark next to them. They're typically like mini game side quest important. Jingle, I have your funding. Please don't ask for more, though. I spent literally everything else on pizza when I should have done that on sushi. Our friendship has increased. Again, not exactly the most subtle or real conversation ever. I guess we'll come back tomorrow. But I think Mira said she'd be in the sun room, which I think is just back here. It's the only place? That's weirdly specific. I mean, that's literally what you're doing, and giving children terrible advice for studying by just cheating for them. And then make me do all your work for you. I think you're stretching. I have to get my parents back healthy. Our friend... Not the most subtle writing ever, but again, you know. More friends with Mira, hooray. Alright, we'll be back tomorrow to talk to Mira and Jingle. And we gotta remember to go talk to Masao and do some sweeping. And then we should be done with Tokyo for a little while at least. But building up friendships is important for the end game stuff. So, we're gonna do that thing. It's weird that there's only one room in the world where you can watch a specific TV show. Because that's the only place in the world that's broadcast. Mira. Jingle, don't ask for more money, please. You have not. Hey, a wild grass, nice. More jingle friendship. We'll go back again later. How many wild grasses do we have? I think there's 7? We have 3. Okay, well, we're making progress on that then. Still not even, like, halfway there. Oh, I'm gonna have to look up where the wild grasses are, because I think we've missed quite a few. But if it means we get a cool coating, I'd like that. I'd like that a lot. Getting a lot of free breakfasts. Should probably, like, take advantage of that. Mira! Okay, I think now we gotta go actually do the track cleaning, or at least the tennis court cleaning, and then we can go bugger about that. See, getting the sweeper thing was kind of just all integral to this. Oh no, nothing. Oh no. We need smile seeds, huh? I think we're gonna have to go kill vegetation type rogues. I'm thinking that's what he's inferring. And he's our friend, so we need to do that. Because that's what you do for friends. You help them let children cheat on tests about TV shows, I guess. That's what this game is teaching you. It's got some weird moral choices. But I guess we're going to go get some smile seeds. But first, we should probably go sweep out the track. Or at least the tennis court. So now we should go do that. Oh, and talk to Masao. I wasn't even trying to go here, but, you know, fate led us here. Okie doke, coming back tomorrow for Masao. It's gonna be one of those things where he said come back in a couple days, but it means come bug him tomorrow, and then the next day, and then the next day. It's gonna be one of those things. Floor 2, no, I gotta go down, not up. Thanks, brain. For picking up the up arrow as a down arrow. That's exactly not what that is. Let's go this way. Alright, Star House. Now, ideally, we get smile seeds from little plant guys outside of Tokyo, I think. Actually, we've got the rogue card, don't we? So let's use that and see who drops. Smile seeds, this guy. First kill at level 1. So, yep, that's just outside Tokyo. I don't know how many smile seeds we need, though. It would have been nice if they had told us, but they did not. Yes! It's the track. Time limit is 2 minutes. Let's keep an eye out for gems, I guess. We need to at least get 50 pieces of paper. I mean, I'm just vacuuming shit. I don't think you need to pray for me, but your kindness is appreciated, I guess. Do I see anything that looks like a gemstone around here? I think over there. Okay. Go, go, go. Need to pick up a third of the garbage. It's fine. It's fine. We got this. No problem. There might be a problem. Alright, let's go. At least there doesn't seem to be any cans around, which is good because cans suck. They have a physical presence. Although I will say the hitboxes on the paper are not ideal. Garbage, 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 garbage. Oh, there's a can. Let's avoid that. Wrong way, camera. There we go. Okay, well, we're ahead of the curve. With a minute left, we have less than half. Well, I will say, once again, the hitboxes on this are very weird. But we're doing pretty well. Gotta watch for that can, but there's a big pile of trash right here. Alright. We got this, no problem. Just gotta sweep up all the trash. Vacuuming powers activate. And that's good enough. Let's just leave the rest. I'm gonna see if we can find any more gemstones. Nope, I think we picked them all up. Well, we did a good enough job, so we're just gonna leave the rest of this trash here because we're a responsible sweeper. Take that, Super Tennis Court. I win. Yes. I've got 3 now. Colonel at Moonforce Tokyo collects them. That's worth knowing. That wasn't the real task, by the way. Okay, now, I think Moon Forest is like a jewelry shop, which is actually like right here, I think. Or it's the pet shop and I'm an idiot. That's also probably true. Actually, there's also an upstairs to here, though, so maybe it's up here. But maybe we could sell them for a huge price. It's just chop. I'm looking for Moon Forest. I don't know where that is, though. Is that this place? No, it's the restaurante I'm probably not allowed in, even though I'm famous. Yes. Someday we'll get in there. And we'll find all the secret codes. And it'll be great. I mean, we probably... What are you doing here, Mira? You're not Mira. You're just some girl who looks exactly like her because we didn't have enough character models. Even though you talk exactly like her about wanting to be a teacher and studying it. Okie doke. Well, either way. If we ever find Moon Forest Tokyo, we will sell that crap. Alright, so you want us to clean the track, don't you? Yes, we get along. She does really like TV and cheating on tests for children. Go and clean the great track. 4 minutes. 80 pieces of paper. They're probably not going to be as close together as the last time, though. Still... You know, that's 20 pieces per minute. That's insanely easy. If they're even remotely close together. Okay, do we see a gemstone around here? Nope, but let's go. I think the bigger issue if you're going for the gemstones is that if you miss it, you're not going to have the time to go back. That's the biggest issue with this, I think. That didn't pick up. Why is the hitbox here so not good? Do better, hitbox. I believe in you. I don't, but I'll say I do if it helps. Alright, so there is a lot of space between pieces of garbage, but as long as I pick up like 3 of every 4 pieces, we're fine. Or 2 out of every 3, anyway. Already way ahead of the curve here. No problem. Let's see if there's anything in this corner, and there was, but it wasn't a gem. Ooh, but there was a bunch of paper. So yeah, we're gonna get that. Paper, 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 paper. We're actually like really far ahead of the curve right now. Ooh, we can go up here in the stands too. I didn't realize that. Also gem in like a way that you'd never ever notice it. No, of course I want to pick up the gem. Let me pick up the gem. Oh yeah, we are super ahead right now. Mira better appreciate this because she's suspiciously not actually helping. She's probably watching TV. She does that. In case you haven't noticed, that's kind of like the extent of her character. Oh, nope. Didn't want to do that. Poop. Oh, and I just picked up the thing I didn't want to pick up. Crap. Fortunately, we're like 30 seconds ahead of where we need to be. So I'm not really immediately worried. I think Mira's probably in the sunroom directly above us that overlooks the track, looking down and sneering at us with contempt because we're doing her job for her. And we were the idiots that took it, in spite of the fact she could have easily done it. But no, she's kicking back watching TV. Classic Mira. Claiming it's part of some sort of like training to be a teacher, which is just malarkey. Malarkey, I say. Malarkey. That's a term I don't use often enough. There's another gem. But joke's on her, because I've got all the gems. What she got? Nothing. Now time to see if I can find more gems in the next 30 seconds. Nope. I didn't really check around here too thoroughly. I know I saw a lot of paper around here. No gems, though. Probably got them all. Still, it doesn't hurt to look, and we do have the time to bleed, so why not? Just gonna sit here and bleed some time. Not gonna find any more gems, though. I really didn't pick up all that much paper in very obvious spots. But boom, there's our quota. You've cleared the quota. Translation's not great in this game. Yes, I have a lot of them. I don't know where the Moon Force Tokyon is, but back in Artilia. Okay, well, we could do that, but we probably need to go complain to Mira for being useless. Oh, and we need to go talk to Masao after a day or two, and we need to go pick up some spike smile seeds or whatever, so we still have a little bit more time to go. Prison cell? We were in one of those. In fact, we were probably in this one because I don't think Intelligent C has those. Still, I need to mostly just go down. That one goes up. Let's go this way. I need to go fight some useless plant thingamabobs for some smile seeds. I don't know how many. I wish the game would have told me. But it didn't. I do like that reflection effect in the floor. That's quite nice. Alright. We must go collect smile seeds. And then complain to Mira for being useless. And then get our sweeper thing. And then get our thing from Masao. And then maybe we'll be the greatest Opoona space camp ever. Or at least we'll be on our way to do so. Alright. Time to go fight some things for smile seeds. Because we're a great friend like that. Bonk. Bonk. Double bonk. I feel like Opoona should be able to hit the opponent twice because she does have 2 bonbons. But either way, let's collect some smile seeds. And I'm pretty sure we just have to hang out here until we fight them. It would help if the game prioritized the enemy we were looking for spawning a little bit more readily, seeing as we do need it, but got some mineral water at least. Man, it's been forever since we've been here. Hey, there's the thing we need. Smile twig, give me seeds. I need all of them. All of them seeds. We got no drops. I just noticed Paulina's dressed like Paulina now and not super incognito starlet Paulina, which I very much love that design of hers. As I've probably said numerous times, it's a great design. Come on, smile seeds. Nope. It's kind of weird how static they sit on top of those boards. Like, I feel like they'd have like a slightly more dynamic animation. I appreciate that their bonbons sort of physically react, though. That's kind of nice. Yep, please run away. You're not Smile Twig, so I don't care. I must fight Smile Twig for Smile Seeds. There we go. Take that, Screwfly. I won the battle with great effort expended on my part. Truly, it was a battle for the ages. Unfortunately, I don't know where they stop spawning, so I kind of just have to hang out in this first area and hope they show up. Isn't the best strategy, but I don't really have any other options. We need them. That said, if they don't show up in about, another 10 minutes or so, I might call it, because it is almost 6 a.m. We'll continue next time, but, until then, grinding for drops, for an unspecified number of them. Come on, Smile Seeds. Nothing. I gotta say, Jingle better give us a damn good reward for all this nonsense. I'd be less offended if, these were tough fights or drops were guaranteed, but they aren't, and they aren't. Come on, Smile Seeds. Be nice if there was a way you could, actually make encounters increase. I don't feel like I'd say that about many things unless it was an exact situation like this. But sitting around waiting for encounters just sucks. When you're especially not guaranteed to get what you need from a not guaranteed enemy spawn. Meow. Unfortunately, that is an X tree and not a smile twig. And we only won the battle handily. And we definitely don't have any in our inventory, do we? Excuse me. Let's see. Nope. Well, guess we're just gonna sit here for a while, I guess. Nice if there's like some secret stuff that spawned if you showed up here later or something. This is not the most exciting combat ever. You know, this makes me do realize that drops are just really quite low in this game for items, for encounters anyway. Alright. More experience for me. Although I will say that sleep stone, if it has any degree of consistency, because it doesn't exactly tell us what percentile it works on. If it does have any degree of consistency, that'll be quite a useful tool for fights that don't end in one hit. Pop. I'm losing my voice, because I've been talking for a while. And I did this right after I recorded the audio for review, so I'm actually losing my voice. Well, you know, it's Opoona, it's fun. It's got some annoying bits, but bits I enjoy. Come on, smile seeds. I wonder if there's a way to increase your drops. I guess luck might have a... like, the luck stat might affect something. Not sure, though. Just gonna keep fighting some really easy fights, cause we need drops for jingle da doo da doo. And then I have to remember to talk to Mira and Masao, which we'll probably do next time, one way or another. I'm really hoping we don't need more than one of these smile seeds, because this is proving to be kind of obnoxious. Who wants to bet I'm doing something completely wrong, like they're just given out somewhere else and it's not actually fight the enemies that drop them? We are just not getting any drops at all. Like, okay. These do definitely drop things, it's just we're not running into them. Huh. I actually do get some interesting drops from some of this stuff, though. That's pretty cool. Grind the guys who give you sushi and raise your fame indefinitely. Won't be useful after you get your laser coat, but still, it'd be kind of cool. Man, I just want that laser coat. It's a coat made of lasers. What could go wrong? Alright. Come on, smile twigs. I need seeds. Please tell me I just need one for this quest. If he wants more than one, Jingle can come out here and freaking eat the smile twigs himself. Because having to do this more than once would suck. Because this is already kind of unpleasant. I don't know, maybe I'll do this grinding for the smile twigs on my own time or something. We'll see. Because this is proving to be a little annoying. And it's almost 6 a.m. And I should have gone to bed hours ago. But I wanted to do this and I wanted to finish off the recording I had, so here we are. And tomorrow, we're going to be done the Caveman chapter and Live Alive, so everything's starting to wrap up for, you know, stream Let's Plays I'm working on. I really gotta think of some games to do. I'm genuinely trying to come up with different stuff that isn't just straight up RPGs, but they are like my favorite genres, so it's hard. Maybe I'll make a vote for it or something. That could be fun. Okay, I'm thinking 3 more encounters after this. And if we don't get it, I'm gonna call it for tonight, because it is getting really early. Or really late, depending on your point of view, I guess. Come on. Nope. Alright, 2 more after this. Ah, it doesn't even have the enemy we're looking for in it. This is a really depressing fight. They do like 1 damage to me. Plus we still have to go back to that pirate island and fight other pirates. And there's one other like super hard area we can fight in that I remember. Although I only kind of loosely remember it. I think I know where we need to go for that, but I don't think we're properly equipped for it yet. Come on. Crap. 1 more. Nope, just dropped my Wii remote. Good thing this game works entirely off nunchuck. Or that could be disastrous. And there's not even an enemy here we can use for a fight. Alas. You know, it would almost be easier to just drag a live Smile Twig back into Tokyo so he can just do his experiments on them. You know? He's looking for plant rogue experimentation analysis, so just bring him one. I feel like that would be easier than having to wait for this stupid drop. Also, is that tree thing not a plant? Because I'm pretty sure it is, but I know it doesn't drop Smile Seeds because Smile Seeds are exclusive to Smile Twigs. The lighting in that little foresty bit's quite nice. Man, I love this game. Even if it does have its problems, its annoying grindy bits. Opoona's just such
okay, so I mentioned this last time that there's going to be like a bunch of extra stuff and it would require some grinding, so I did all of that. And it was a pain in the ass. Okay, so basically that big hunting area that we were in before, you know, just after we got kicked out, that's where the boss shows up. And I spent no less than an hour just sitting around mashing A for basically a random chance to fight him. And I got my face kicked in really hard, so I had to grind the hell out of that. And, well, fun story, we're now level 17. I've gone and mixed a bunch of stuff through the power of alchemy to get better stuff, and we got some stuff. So we got the King's Fang, which gives us plus 20 power. That's for killing the big, stupid mammoth boss that at level 16 was still a bit of a challenge. We got the Basic Rock, which boosts our intelligence by like 50 points, which is not terribly useful for a caveman, but I got this for mashing the A button on like a random rock that looked like a face 100 times and then going and recreating the scene from 2001. I actually did need this to beat the mammoth. Let's see, Nose Ornament, that was just for stats. Venus Figure, that's for resistances. I think I already had that. And this is the Cola Bottle. I don't know why a mammoth has it, and I don't know why it's not a guaranteed drop, but this is like the most broken item in the game. It increases our speed by 20 or so, which is pretty amazing, right? So we're pretty well decked out, we're pretty well leveled. I think we're prepared to finally beat the boss, the big like T-Rex thing, and finally finish our adventure in Live Alive in a slightly OP fashion thanks to the magic of grinding. But I really wanted to show off the cola bottle because it's actually not as hard to get as I thought. I thought it was like a 5% chance. It's actually like a 30% chance, which is significantly better. And fortunately, I got it the first time I beat the thing, but it was hard, okay? Oh, I spent an hour hunting the thing and got completely wrecked and had to spend like another hour grinding and then another 2 hours trying to hunt the damn thing. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to show that, but you know, we're better equipped than we were last time, and I wanted to show off the cola bottle, which is an item I've never actually gotten before. But we're going to finish off this chapter properly by saving our honey, teaming up with Zaki, and defeating the big evil T-Rex thing they worship because reasons. Because we're awesome bipedal caveman. Even though they are also bipedal cavemen. Although Zaki might be the little lizard on the bipedal caveman. I think there's like a symbiotic thing where he's actually controlling Zaki's brain and he's actually the lizard. He wears his like a pants, I guess. Also hair flip for style points. So this is probably going to be a bit one-sided. But we'll see what we can do. 1 damage. Also, that move makes you dizzy. That was an absolute necessary ability to defeat that stupid boss. So, fun story. It's a big gold mammoth that takes up about 9 squares. He can explode and do several hundred damage in a single hit, plus coat the ground in fire that heals him. And even at my best, he could still probably kill me in 2 or 3 attacks. So it was genuinely, even at my best, pretty scary. But, I mean, this isn't a scary fight at all. But we can almost do like 1,000 damage. And then it's a cutscene attack because, of course, we can't actually defeat him this time. We just get thrown to the next phase. I like that he's so oblivious gravity doesn't work on him. Live Alive. Alright. Here we go, the final challenge. Let's do it. We gotta show them the power of cavemen. Uh-oh. I think that was the guy. And very slow cutscene for dramatic tension. Gotta love our gorilla that's just dumb. Alright, well, we're gonna fight this thing because we're absolute heroes. And we've got the heroic theme, and this dinosaur has a horn. Actually, that's a tail, but it looks like a horn, okay? So let's see what our ultimate attack can do to this guy, shall we? That's not bad. This lady actually has the best move of all if we leveled her properly. I don't think I actually did, mind you, but... And I don't care what Zaki does because he's kind of crap compared to us. He does 18 damage. But we get to listen to the cool villain theme, so you know that this fight is truly means business, and we overleveled, so it's actually quite easy. Equipping the best stuff and going after the secrets really helps. But it takes forever, and it's just a pain in the ass to deal with. But we scared off the dinosaur, and thus we proved that cavemen are superior to everything. Might as well follow me now. I'm the hero of the tale. You're now my bodyguard who is useless. And that is the Caveman chapter. All 6 minutes of the rest of it. To be fair, most of it was just grinding. That was really boring to watch. Oh, I can't stress how much of a pain in the ass that boss was. Like, because it moves faster than you, it's entirely invisible, and unlike everything else in that scenario that can walk into you and engage a fight, you have to actively mash A to engage a fight with it. So, the best way to actually, like, engage that fight is just park yourself anywhere and just mash A and hope it runs into your field of vision, which can take forever. But that's genuinely the most efficient strategy to actually start the fight. And then you have to, like, not get completely wrecked by it, which is certainly a challenge. I'm not necessarily sure I'd recommend going after that fight if you can help it, because it really is just an exercise in needing to grind. But you do get some really nice things in this chapter when you go super far out of your way to try and kill that boss. But we're still banished, so I guess we're just going to start a new tribe with Zaki and this chick. Actually, I believe we go back to our tribe, and Zaki's now the head of the other tribe, and we're just friends now. We don't actually get any sort of message as to whether or not we rejoined, because clearly we're not in this dance of friendship. So we were banished forever, unfortunately. That's the story of cavemen. They were quite rude. Also, there were voices. You really don't hear much voice in this game. Like, when you start the game up, it yells, "Squaresoft!" And then, like, every character has, like, maybe one voice clip, but you never hear it. But it's nice that they added that, you know? It's just a little bit more realism, I guess. Oh, hey, I know this place. We got let back in after all. Who knows where Gory is? Doesn't matter. Oh, wait, there he is. Get out. I think he'll be fine. I think he got kidnapped. And then it was a very steamy night for all. And that's the one bit of dialogue our character actually gives. Wink. They're talking about something not for kids. The end. And that's the end of Live Alive. So I hope you enjoyed. God, Live Alive is fun. A little all over the place, but a really fun game, I think. And just for the sake of it, we're going to save our save data right there. Because, you know, it's important to get our save data saved. What's this? There's a whole new chapter we haven't played yet? I am shocked about this. Shocked! I'm not shocked at all, actually. Once you clear all these other chapters, like any good Saga game, you unlock a final chapter that explains what the hell all the other characters had to do with one another. Now, I'm going to spoil it right now, and all of these characters are actually the same bloodline. This is actually JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the Squaresoft edition. So, we're going to play the night and actually see that story unfold. Now, it's actually important to know that I made that save, because at this point, I can select any one of these chapters and replay it. So, you know, if I wasn't happy with the fact that I missed out on killing the big sea bass and getting the super boss sword in the ninja chapter, we could select that right now and redo it. The thing is, the moment we select the final chapter, that goes away. That's why I saved, because if I'm going to review this, which I'd like to once I'm done, you know, streaming this, you know, it's important to have that option. Because the night chapter kind of locks all the other chapters, because this is the true final chapter. But let's begin the night chapter with the most glorious blonde hero ever. He's got fabulous hair. Now, this is a particularly interesting story. It starts off basically like Durandal's story from Seiken Densetsu 3. And this is a classic Japanese fantasy RPG. It plays exactly like that. Like, everything's turn-based. Well, everything in this game is turn-based anyway, it just doesn't show it. But there's random encounters. We play a character who doesn't really talk, if I recall. They don't remember my name, which is really sad. Now, we have to name our character. Now, it starts out as Orsted, but I think we can do a little better. Given his fantabulous blonde mane, we can only name him Dio. Because you thought the other characters were the heroes of the story, but it was really him, Dio. Also, I get to make a JoJo reference. Anyway, we're going to start a fight because it's important that we do that, really. we just need to fight to prove that we're the best. So let's go fight this guy. This is a particularly funny chapter as well, because again, this is, you know, basic RPG in a series that's not about being a basic RPG. It's very weird like that, but it has some funny mechanics to it, even though it doesn't necessarily show it. When we get around that, I'll talk about it, but let's hopefully not die first. That was a lot closer than that really should have been, because that's like the tutorial fight of this final chapter. Hooray! Dio won! Also, you'll never guess, but that's the reference of the poor kid and his father who always dies. Getting it right out of the way from the start. Poor kid. The way of his arms moved, he kind of looked a little bit like the new from Chrono Trigger. Alright, so this is Strabo. He's our best friend, and he does nothing but wish us well, but we have to fight him to the death now. Also, he's a mage, so I just don't like Strabo in general. He's a mage, he's the biggest asshole ever, basically, but he's our best friend, so we gotta be nice. The thing you have to understand is that this fight will determine who is the hero of the tale. Now, if this were a true Saga game, we could lose this fight and play the rest as Strabo. The story won't work that way in Live Alive, unfortunately. But, this is important for setting up that we are the hero of this tournament. Basically, this kingdom needs to select a champion, and the winner of this tournament arc, that I hate tournament arcs, is the true hero. That means when there's a problem, you know, we have to step up and deal with it. It also means we get to marry the princess and also become the next in line for the throne. So, basically from the start, this is a very generic fantasy, and you'll never guess what happens after we marry the princess, but the great thing is, we are the hero, we got this covered, and basically everything's going to go right for our boy Dio from now on, because he is going to be the hero, and once he saves the princess, like, he's got the best future ever. But this is Strabo. I hate him because he's a mage and an asshole. But he's our best friend, so let's kick his ass. I just love our character sprite. He has the most fantastic blonde hair ever. If I had to pick favorite character sprites in Live Alive, it would probably be the ninja and then this guy. Alright, there we go. There, we proved we are the true hero of the tale and the defender of this city. Well done, Dio. You beat Strabo. He needs to hair flip. He didn't hair flip. I'm disappointed in the lack of hair flip. I am very strong, that's why I won. It's a very archaic way of winning the hand of the princess, but, you know, that's how you determine the hero and the most capable of protecting her, I guess. So we're going to have an awesome party to just celebrate how great our life is going since we are now the hero of the tale. Hooray! That's a nice background. I like that background. To be fair, I didn't call you anything because I'm a mute protagonist because classic JRPGs. Like I said, this chapter's a bit tropey, but it explains everything, so it gets away with that nonsense.
In fact, I would even say this is possibly the best chapter in some regards. Ah, what a sweetheart, and she believes in Dio. And Dio loves her. And we gotta protect her, because that's what we do. Alright, Dragon. However you pronounce her name. Also, I gotta just tell you, the battle theme in this chapter is an absolute jam. Not the final boss jam, but it's up there. Keep going, Dio, you got this. There we go. Uh-oh. I didn't plan on a second demon. Don't worry, I'm the hero. I will rescue you. This is a classic JRPG that is the most vanilla story ever, so trust me, by the end you will be rescued. By me, Dio. Alright, we gotta take up our sword and go after her. It's Ghosts and Goblins rules, basically. Or, you know, any story ever. We must defeat this demon who despises all things. Seems like a pleasant chap, actually. It's a nice sort of backdrop that shows you, well, there's the mountain, there's the demon castle, here's where we are. Okay. I like that it kind of shows the general geography of the entire environment. It's quite nice. This is the King of Demons chapter. You're never going to guess what we get to fight at the end. But if you guess the King of Demons, well, that's certainly a prediction you could make. Oh no, the demon came back to life. Well, I wonder what caused that to happen. Can't have had anything else to do anything with anything, could it? It's just random happenstance. It must be. I'll go. You won't hear me, because I don't have a voice, because JRPG protagonist, but trust me. Dio is the hero. He will save the princess. Aw, he believes in us too. Alright. Well, it seems we might have some leads on people we might need to talk to in the near future. Alright, now, I should probably go into and talk to stuff. Okay, so you might notice this sword, this armor, these chests, or these barrels and stuff. I'm pretty sure all of it contains stuff, but this is a classic JRPG. We don't want to overload Dio with random crap that's going to weigh him down. We only have one Dio, and he only has 2 arms. So we don't want to pick up anything that's going to just weigh him down. So, you know, if you're playing along with me, well, first of all, what? Someone actually wants to play along with me and watch and stuff? That's flattering, because no one watches my stuff, and I'm sad about that. But, if you are playing along with this, don't pick anything up in this chapter, is the special mechanics of it. Trust me, I'll explain later when it's more relevant, but just trust me on this one. You don't want to pick anything up. There are some villagers you can talk to. They'll give you stuff. Absolutely talk to them, but just don't pick anything else up is the short version of this story. So there's some more stuff around here we could probably grab. Not going to bother. I think we can talk to the individual villagers and they give us some stuff. This we can get. This is like the one thing we can do is just talk to these people and get some free stuff. We're gonna have to go to the Heroes Mountain, spoilers. Well, if you want to help me, give me free stuff, please. This is the longest story about nothing ever. That was... I appreciate that they put out some, like, Shaggy Dog story. Alright, see, everyone loves Dio because Dio's great. He's the hero. I'll take free stuff. The Thing.
Hey, free sword. Nice. Alright, let's see what we can slap on Dio. Let's optimize, because I don't think we have enough for it to be a problem. Okie doke. Can I swap that with the... Ah. That increases vitality, but decreases... Okay. So that's really a side item. This thing. Very useful. Alright, well, Dio's ready to go be a hero, so let's go do it. Oh look, it's this asshole. My best friend Strabo. He's a mage. I don't like mages too much. That's why I never play them in RPGs. They're boring. Why would you ever play a class that isn't melee, up front, and personal? You gotta have the personal touch when you're taking out your opponents. That's a philosophy of mine. Okay, so there's things we can pick up. Again, don't, because reasons I'm not going to go into right now. Just trust me on this. But we're looking for random battles. Fortunately, Strabo will help us out by being a mage. And hopefully we don't get completely mullered. Because right now, the first things about this chapter are you gotta build a party, you know? Building the party, getting experience, that's how you RPG. And since this is RPG trying to be RPG, we just gotta play the rules. Uh-oh. Dio might be in trouble. But Strabo's got his back, that's why they're best friends. Alright. Plus link gained. I don't know what that means, but okie doke. And this is the Hero Mountain. It was awful short distance, seeing as it was off in the distance from that long shot that we saw a demon go to, but take advantage of that fact, and let's try this. Slashes nearby enemies. Ooh, that's a whole area of effect attack. Wow. It would be rude of me not to test out my new toy. Yeah, that's not bad. Although the counter's a bit of an ass. And the fact that they heal is even more so. Well, we'll deal with this as best we can. It's probably better, ideally, to take enemies out one at a time. I'm guessing that's statistically the best way to do things. So, we'll just stick to classic strats for now. Strabo. Actually, that might be quite useful. That's a huge distance there, Strabo. Shame you never used that on me in the fight, where I could have not hit you from that distance. But I'll take victory where I get it. Okay. One-way cut. Red bullet. Take a couple letters off that, and he gives them a Red Bull. I don't like Red Bull. I think it's gross. Most energy drinks I tend to find are, but I haven't had really any energy drinks since I was in high school when I had to drink them every day in the morning because I had to go to like stupid early classes. Don't go to stupid early classes is the short version of the story. But in my experience, they like all taste like carbonated Kool-Aid or just metal, and neither of those things taste particularly good in my opinion. Uh-oh. This might be a bad fight for us. Okay, so this kind of went sideways on us. Let's run. Alright. That's fine. That's fine. We can make up for that. We gotta build a party. That's what we're here for. Party building. Okay, so this is the same fight we just did, which is not ideal, but we're not going to go immediately out of our way to attack multiple enemies at once, because that clearly doesn't work so well. So this should function a little bit better as an actual fight for us. Okay. I don't like that counter so much. I think Strabo's got to take out those guys if we want to play this smart, honestly. Which means I have to rely on a mage, and I don't like doing that, because mages... Red Bull. Have some wings. Uh-oh. I don't like these guys. Okay, new plan. We're just gonna run away from these because I don't like these slugs so much. We're not in the best position right now. This is honestly a bit depressing, but we'll survive. I hope. Alright. It's important we remember the layout of this mountain for later. It will be important. But I think we just gotta keep going up. Okay, well... I think we might need to level up a little bit before we fight these things. I feel like an absolute coward running from stuff. Especially because this isn't the time to be running from stuff. There is a time for that, now is not it. The hero. Well, we need to talk to the hero at some point, so we might have to come back. I think he has a key or something in his grave, spoilers. But I guess for now, we might as well just head back down the mountain. We're just kind of exploring, building out our party. Noogie Bears! I don't feel like that's a fair matchup. Let's go back to the standard area first, and then go to fight stuff. I feel like that's the more sensible way to do things right now. Because we are kind of ill-equipped for life, really. Hey, it's Armstrong, out for revenge. Run away! I wasn't joking when I said there was a time for running, too. Like, there's an important point in this game where if you want to do everything this game can offer, running is, like, the only thing you can do in order to unlock stuff. What's your damage on me, Oh, God. Okay, yeah, let's get out of here. The nice thing is the game is really polite about letting you run from basically everything. Let's just go back to where we came from. We'll get some basic experience and maybe level up a couple more times. But we'll be back here. Oh yes, we will be back. Keep running. Actually, I want to check my inventory for a sec, because I remember getting a seed. Does that heal, or... Yeah, that's healing. I thought that might be stat boosting, but it's not. Also, I have no idea why, but I keep oiling my chair and it keeps squeaking and it bugs me. Boom. Alright, these are things we can actually fight. Also, these things take up a lot more space than they look like they do. But I'm okay with that. Alright, Dio. Show them why you're the hero of the tale. Just like that. Alright. Alright. What do we have down this way? We have a sign. Well, to the west, we have a village. That seems like a good place to start. Maybe we'll get some people to help us. Hello? Yep, I'm really Dio, in my completely mute glory. I'll sign something for you if you like. Unfortunately, we can't just use their beds to sleep in. But we do heal between fights, so that's okay. It's this guy. Hey, this guy. Alright. Well, it seems we've done everything we can here. For now. Again, there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm just sort of getting my bearings, because it's been forever since I've played this chapter. You do have to go through a lot to unlock it. Let's try northeast. Ah, it's the little knight on a little squirrel thing. Bonk. And it's dead. It's a thing that eats things. But these things at least die, so that's a plus. It's not like the other jerk slugs that counter heal. Although Strabo is rather ineffective against these guys. But that's okay, he's our best friend, so, you know, everything's gonna be fine with us.
We got this. Ultimate partnership powers, go! Gotta admit, the casting animation on him is quite nice. It's almost as nice as Magus dancing in Chrono Trigger. There we go. Got Silver Wind. That's gonna be useful. I think this just leads us back to where we came from. Yep, don't want to go back there. Alright, I guess we're gonna move on to the next area then. Because that village was useless. Oh crap, okay. I think I see where this is going. Hold on. Strabo, don't die doing something stupid for just a sec, please. There we go. That's something I learned using the ninja. It's important to take advantage of as much of your environment as you can. We're going to sneak our knight into the lower corner and take out those three at once as well. Strabo, you're very ticklish. Maybe work on that. Alright, Dio plus Link. Man, the soundtrack to this chapter is so good. Like, this game in general just has such a great soundtrack, but the fight theme in this chapter is just super legit. There we go. Alright, yeah, so I guess we're going to the Forbidden Lands next, because that Hero Mountain is a bit rude. But first, let's fight some beetles. One beetle, Two beetles, Also the rhinoceros beetles. I'm more a stag beetle fan myself, so that's fine. I collected all the Metarot stag beetle games. Well, I'm missing 2, I think, at this point. Close. Okay, let's go east to the Forbidden Land. Also, I think there's a thing down here. There's a couple secret areas in this chapter. I can't remember where they are, though, but trust me, for now, it's not the biggest concern that we deal with that. Right now, we just want to go save the princess. Silver Wind the turkey. Take that, turkey. Alright. There we go. We gotta go to the land that is forbidden. For it is the Forbidden Land. That's a loose quote from Fallout New Vegas. That's a game I'd like to play again. That game was so good. I think it's south here? It's some area in the south. There's like a secret area. That, again, we don't want to pick anything up right now. It's actually useless for us to really go there, but it'll be important that we go there later. But this environment, this medieval kingdom is super important. So it's important to kind of get a lay of the land and set ourselves up properly. Yeah, I really like our knight's sprite. Like, if I had to list some of my favorite sprites on the Super Nintendo, Friedan from Illusion of Gaia, easily, is like the best sprite on the Super Nintendo. Zero from X3. This guy, the ninja. There's some really good sprite work on the Super Nintendo. Even to this day is quite lovely. Actually, you want to talk about a really, really great game for visuals. Treasure of Rudras and Bahamut Lagoon are like 2 of the best in terms of just straight up graphical like punch. Like Rudra no Hiho, that has like the most detailed sprites and some like the biggest, fanciest looking sprites I've ever seen on the Super Nintendo. That's an RPG I need to play again sometime soon. That was a cool game too, because You had to write your own magic spells, like using individual words, and you had to combine them, and you had to like figure out what properties did what, and if you knew what your opponents used for magic spells, you could just replicate them, but you had to like take notes and stuff. It was really quite a very effective system. I think we're close to the secret area, but, you know, again, it doesn't matter much. I'm just here for experience, really. Oh, I want plus link so I can take out those two guys at once. This isn't a huge chapter in terms of, like, raw space, either. We've actually seen most of the environments. It's really just this and the Forbidden Land, and we've kind of seen it all, really. But it's still super important that we kind of take notes on where stuff is relative to stuff. Plus link! Stop moving, little squirrel thing. Your little knight guy is adorable, and I think he might be a fairy, because I think he's got wings, but still, stop moving around. My mage needs to hit you with silver winds. Okay, gotta go down, and then up, and then I think right, and there we go. Alright. I'll use plus link again. Seriously, environmental attacks can be super useful. Being able to hit multiple targets at once, even if it's not for a ton of damage, can be ridiculously powerful in this game. Like, the mammoth boss that I didn't show is kind of crazy like that, because he can hit the entire stage at once, heal himself, and just wreck you, just in terms of damage. Abandon all hope, ye who enter. I've read that more than a few times in my life. I think we'll be fine. I hope. How unsettling. But alas, we do not have a way to deal with this, so we might have to deal with something else first. Welcome to Classic RPG being Classic RPG. Now, if I recall, we gotta go back to the village. And we'll be able to talk to someone now who will give us some tips. Or maybe we have to go back to the castle, I don't know. On the bright side, we're getting good, solid experience, and that's important. We need as much experience as we possibly can get. Right on. Alright. Now I think we have to talk to this guy. Or not, maybe not. I was sure that was the case, but maybe not. I am really Dio. Maybe we have to go back to the castle. They'll give us some tips or something. Because if I recall, we need a key. And that key we can't get until we do some stuff. That's the way to the mountain. We don't want to go there yet, I don't think. So just, you know, consider the past half hour just wandering around gathering experience so that we don't get completely wrecked. And in that regard, it's not a total waste of time. Alright. Plus link! Right on. Oh man, I just want to listen to the music to this. I just stop playing and just listen to the background music. It's too good. I'm fine with bringing back the princess, but I might need a little bit, See, we're such a big hero. They love us. Dio's just that damn good. That's good they're keeping Her Highness's garden healthy. Maybe the king will give us what we need in order to make proper advancement. Can you give us tips? No. Abducted the queen. Yeah, so we have to find some heroes. Unfortunately, we haven't done that stuff yet. So I think we might just have to wander around until we find our NPC friends. I remember one being on that mountain, though, so maybe you just have to go back there. I don't know. Wandering around, because lost in a very, very simple, fairly straight-based RPG. It's straightforward. I don't know why I have this much trouble. But everything in my life seems to be an uphill battle, so why should this be any different? Fight more squirrels. It'll be fine. Did I hit anything with that? Okay. Plus Link. Alright. Well, if I was looking for someone in exile, I guess we'd go to the mountains. And I remember there being someone around here, so maybe we just haven't looked hard enough. And hopefully we've got the levels to not get completely wrecked anymore. Let's find out. Please die. I'd like you to die very much now, please. That actually wasn't too bad. I think now we can at least handle these things. No. There we go. Thank you, targeting system. You haven't been completely useless today. Like, we're taking damage, but I think we're okay for now. Alright. So we're not getting completely wrecked anymore. That's an important step. So let's plus Link, take these guys out. Have Strabo take out the guy on the right. Try to, anyway. Strabo, be more useful. You're kind of not doing that right now, buddy. There we go. Ah, that guy moved exactly in the way I didn't want him to move. That's annoying. Well, I took out one of them anyway. Strabo, this is on you, buddy. So we're gonna move over here, use Silver Wind to take him out. Hammer power. Bonk. That'll do. We don't even have a voice effect, we just get a sword clashing sound. There's a big path up here. Wonder if this will lead to anything interesting. Probably not, but maybe. Alright, so we've got a ranged attack for Dio now. That's actually going to be really useful. But I'd still like to take these guys out quickly. If I could take out multiples at once, that would not hurt my feelings any. But we'll just have to trust Strabo. As I check on a thing. Alright, Dio. Use plus Link again. Alright. Let's take out that guy. Alright, we got this. There we go. Strabo leveled up. Got red cage. Alright. Well, maybe that'll confine some enemies. That'll be quite useful. Oh, you know what I think we have to do? If I recall, we have to go back to that village and look at the shield in that guy's house. Like, there, you can pick up 1 or 2 bits, but I think that shield's like a plot item, so... I just remember don't pick up stuff in this, because reasons. But, let's see if there's anything else on this mountain, because I think there was. I remember there being a thing here. Alright, let's try Red Cage. See what that does. How fancy does this look? You know, fire magic is probably pretty useful in a big ice mountain. So well done, Strabo. I might have changed my opinion of you. Possibly. Let's try Sword Wind. We haven't given this one a chance yet. Well, these guys have... I just kind of assumed they had 30 health, but I guess not. Alright. Red Cage. Burn to oblivion. Alright, this should take this guy out. Alright. We're gonna explore this mountain until we figure out what I'm looking for, because I can't remember quite. I just know we're building a party, because classic RPG rules apply. It would be nice if we could hit multiple enemies, but what can you do? Can't hit anything from there. Oh, that was a lot of damage. Stay strong, Strabo. Okay. Uh-oh. This could be real bad for us. Okay, smack him with a hammer. Go bonk. And I think that'll probably kill Strabo. He's still alive. Well done. I'm impressed. Slightly. Okay. Let's try going up the mountain again. Because maybe I just didn't look too terribly thoroughly at stuff. Sword Wind would probably not be that good that close. Let's try taking him out. Well done. Alright, that's one. These two best friends have got this covered. Sword Wind. Maybe we should get a little bit of distance between us so we don't both get killed. But it'll probably be okay. Alright. Alright. Come on, Strabo, you got this. Silver Wind. I mean, on the bright side, we're surviving relatively well now, which is a nice comfort. There's a rock. That rock looks like something different from the rest of the game. I wonder whatever that could mean. Uh-oh. I recognize this bear. This is the bear that wrecks our day. I wonder if our leveling will have helped much. Nope. Run? Running seems like a good plan. Alright, let's go up here. Alright. I remember there was something here we needed to do early on. Problem is, because this chapter's so late in the game, my memory of it's really not super great. I remember some very basic things, but that's about it. Let's try Blue Gale. We haven't tried that one yet. And we'll smack this guy with Hammer Power. Bonk.
which I think actually turns your opponent away from you, which that's actually a very useful effect. Long term, that could be super useful for us. The fact that it only hits angles is a little bit less so, but I think we'll be okay. I mean, we're not immediately getting destroyed by bears anymore. Also, we level up real quick in this chapter. There's a house. I knew I forgot something. There was something here. Because I remember we're at the party building phase of this chapter, and while you typically don't want to pick stuff up, I think there's 1 or 2 items you need to that are plot important. And I think one in the tiny village at the foot of the mountain has something. And I think there's something in this building we need to grab as well. Alright. Let's move Dio over here. Oh man, the music's just so good. Like, I don't want to say anything just because I want to jam out to the music right now. What can you do? Alright, there we go. Who could this be? You can't have all be someone important. Hey, I'm the hero. I'm the guy not talking to you. Hey, this shield looks important. I'm betting that shield's gonna be important. Talk to me. Actually, it's worth noting that this is like the only chapter where your character doesn't get like a special ability either. I did actually take some notes of this. I just found them. Yeah, it's like, okay, don't pick anything up, but look at the shields in huts. That's most of my notes right now, but I'm glad I remembered that much. I'm also glad I wrote notes on how to play this game back when I first played this game, because, you know, there are some mistakes you can make if you play this game wrong, and there's some cool stuff you can miss out if you play it a certain way. Like, you know, you miss out on the big fish in the ninja chapter, or the secret boss that requires you to, like, backtrack through an area and then get completely destroyed. Plus you miss out on, like, the cool medicine chest thing that's just ridiculous. And the King Mammoth, which is like the biggest pain in the ass ever. But totally worth the fight. Purple Mist sounds like that's poison. Confuse. I think Silver Wind is still kind of our most reliable attack. Alright, Dio. Let's try and cage. That's a huge area of effect. Not very effective for damage, but damn if that's not going to be useful for area clearing. Give me an extra level and we should be able to take out anything with that. Alright. So we looked at the shield, which I think is a flag. It's not as bad as the near future chapter, which is nothing but flags. This one at least kind of gives you story bits that make sense when you interact with stuff. You just gotta be careful. Okay, run, because bear is mean. It's also an important note I left. Bear is mean. I agree. Myself from whenever I played this last time. Alright, let's try and cage. Yeah. Okay. I like that. That's a good move. That's gonna be useful when we get jumped by like 12 squirrels again. Alright, Dio. For we are the hero of the tale. Let's go inquire about that shield in a place that has a similar shield, from what I remember. And I think we have to go to the grave of the hero or whatever. And then we can move on properly. I think. And then we're properly ready to rock and roll and go to the Forbidden Land. There's a little bit of party building in this game before you actually get a chance to do stuff. And cut to the chase of this chapter. And also getting eaten by bears and jumped by squirrels. But, you know, so long as you survive those bits, you're fine. But, seriously, that bear is just... avoid that bear if you can. Alright, best friend Strabo, let's go back to village and talk about shields to shield enthusiasts. I want to use hammer power, I think. Just brute force. Yep, that works. Let's try Purple Mist. These guys are huge, and I want to see what this does. That was unspectacular, and honestly, that does look like a poison attack, more than anything. Alright, I think we can use Encage right about here. We'll miss the one on the left, but we'll get the two on the right. And then Silver Wind will exactly not hit anything. Because this guy wants to not be in range. Alright. Oh. That guy's gone now. I wonder whatever that could mean. He really just does not want to acknowledge our existence. It's a shield. We saw one on the mountain. We're shield enthusiasts, and also the hero. I'm Dio. So he kind of left. He was disgruntled. So we have to ungruntle him. Or regruntle him. One of the things. It's the monk! Uranus. Or Uranus, however that's pronounced. I don't think it's pronounced Uranus. I could be wrong, though. Now we gotta go talk to previous guy. I think we do actually need this. Because we're the hero. And we need to equip the hero shield, obviously. Alright. Dio's got this. Defender, that'll lower that stat, and, well, Defender gives us a little bit more speed and more vitality, but I think the defense would probably be better. And we can't equip the other thing as a... Wait a minute. Hold on. Formulation of plan. Can I equip the shield as a bonus thing, like as an accessory? No. Okay. Well, it was worth a shot. But yeah, we need the hero shield. Alright, now I gotta go back to the mountain and talk to the other guy. The previous hero, who will teach us how to hero properly. Even though we're already the hero of the tale, so we actually already know how to do it. And nothing will ever go wrong because we truly are the proper hero. Okay. You know, you don't normally get a pretty big party in this game. Like, a party of 3 is pretty uncommon. Kind of appreciate that we got, like, a full, big, proper party. Alright, Stray Bow. Let's use Purple Mist and see what that does to Tentacle Thing. Thought that might do more. Let's see, heal all allies in area. So, you know, monks are awesome is the short version of the story. Roar at evil. And more recovery stat. So yeah, he's healing, but he's got some offensive capability. Old Timer's awesome. That's why they named a planet after him, after all. Even though it's probably pronounced slightly differently. Left. We really need to memorize the layout of this mountain. Alright, Dio in cage. That's almost close enough that we could hit them all with one move, but we can't quite. Alright, Strabo, I want you to Silver Wind the Slugamabob over here. And we'll use Voice of God because that hits everything. It's kind of not dissimilar to the Caveman Roar, really. Actually, we should save as well. Now, because I want to save that, we'll use save state 4. Just so that we don't lose the various points in which we could recreate stages and better re-equip ourselves and change stuff. Alright, in cage, that'll take care of those guys. I'm kind of falling in love with that move. It's like that one spin attack, except better in every way. It hits more things. And more means better. There we go. Right on. Alright. Making progress. Gotta go left. Well, there's no way I can hit them all, but 3 out of 4 ain't bad. And Strabo will hit the guy in the corner, ideally. And then Voice of God should be able to take out the rest. Because teamwork, because we're a good, proper party. With best friends Strabo and Old Timer McGee. Who's actually very scary. That didn't do everything I had hoped. One more in cage to do it, though. There we go. Right on. Wonder if we could handle a bear now. I don't want to try fighting one, because they'll wreck me, but I gotta kind of wonder. I should handle those guys. Gotta admit, the Sword of the Hero, because we are the hero. Pretty powerful. But that's because we're the hero of legend and prophecy and nonsense. Alright, Voice of God. Boom. There we go. So let's see about this previous hero. We need to tell him what's up. And that we're the real hero. He might have the mustache, but we're the real hero. We're the one with the beautiful blonde hair. I am the broody hero. It's all I do. Also, I'm silent, so he has to talk for us. Believing. That's a key term of things. People believing in people, and everyone believing in the hero, which is good. It's good to have people believing in you. I could use more of that myself. He's not the hero. He's a coward. I'm taking your shield. You're no hero. Ah, fine. Won't let me take the shield of the hero. Hey, you're not supposed to take things in the environment, guy. We established this rule early on. Also, now I got a sprite change. The ex-hero, thank you. I'm the real hero. And Dio can't equip 2 shields, so I think that'll probably end up going to Hash, although I might borrow all of his stuff. Because, let's be honest, Dio's the real hero. There we go. Alright, now we can equip Tash. There we go. Actually, does anyone have anything else that would be cool for Dio? I should probably know. No. Nope. That's fine. But at least Dio's bulked up. You want him to have the best stuff, trust me. For this chapter, he's the hero for a reason. So you gotta make sure he's got the best crap. And now we've got our full party. We should be good to go. We gotta visit the summit to get the key. Which was at the grave, but you need the old hero to do that. I remember that fully. The old timers are awesome. Also, why does Hash have red hair in combat, but he's a brunette in the overworld? That makes no sense. Now, if this was consistent with perspective, we'd see the kingdom on one side, either the left or the right, because as established, it was sort of a triangle with the kingdom we started in at the point, the demon lair at the other point, and the this place opposite that. It's my grave. Dun dun dun. Hey, I'm the hero, man. Let me make the dramatic nonsense, even if I'm not allowed to actually speak because I'm, you know, just silent protagonist kun. Let me make the dramatics. Did you equip that? Because I want it. I feel I deserve it. I think that might just be a plot item. Like, I know it's a key to advance the plot, but I figured it might actually be an item that I could equip. Either way, we're good to go. We've got our party. We've been leveling because I got lost like an idiot. We're good, though. Won't be able to hit all of them, but... Okay, Strabo, hit the guy down here for me, if you would. And then Voice of God. That's the nice thing about this chapter, though. You get a really nice party early on, so if you are weak, by the time you do get your party, you're going to be super strong just by numbers, really. So you're not weak for long. Also, we're now level 6. Alright, let's keep going. We must enter the land that is forbidden. And then I have to try and remember what to do there. But then we're good. Alright, Dio. That'll hit everything. That works out great. Alright. We got this. No problem. Left. I don't like the twistiness of the mountains so much. But either way, we got this. Okay. Let's just pull over here. Take these guys out. And then Strabo use Silver Wind. Now I think we're ready to go to the Forbidden Lands. And I'm not scared of these enemies because they're a lot weaker than they were at the mountain. So we're good. Silver Wind. Well, actually, it could be that we... So it's just a matter of only Hash being able to equip that. Okay, fair enough. I guess it is his, even though I'm the hero. Time to murder a small creature using a big screen clear. Also, we should probably save again, just save some time. Alright, let's go. Oh, we gotta go south. A little too far north for the moment. Move Dio down here. Let's see what that's all about. Huh. Okay. My big screen clear is still the better attack, but... Blue Squall. Hey, that's an area of effect attack. I'll take that. Alright. Just gotta keep getting experience, I guess. Slowly boosting up those stats. That voice of God comes in real quick. Super useful. Alright. Time to go to where we are not allowed to go. The Forbidden Land. Which is exactly where we need to go because it's forbidden. So of course that's where we need to go. That just makes logical sense. It's not like it's forbidden or anything. Ow. Alright, Strabo. Can only hit directly in front of it. Well, that's annoying. That's why attacks that turn your opponents are super useful. You kind of remove their threat if they have any really, really big, fancy stuff. And now we're going to recreate this scene from Chrono Trigger where Frog cleaves a mountain in half. But it's going to be a lot less flashy. But it tries. Credit where credit's due, it tries. Alright. Now, we just got to get through here. I think those piles of bones have items, but again, we don't want to really pick anything up if we can help it. Now we just gotta navigate this little area. Oh, that's a lot of guys. Okay, well, let's try and take out a few of them if we can help it. You survived that. I was not really prepared for that. Well, let's see what we can do with multi-attacks. You actually have, like, a lot. Legendary technique. Do we have anything that's more... we don't really have anything that's super, like... Well, that's annoying. You are the worst hero. If that's the best area of effect attack you've got. I have better area of effect attack. Alright, well that's less threatening. Scream at the top of your lungs, old man. That's a cool effect. Also, pallet cycling. Alright, getting some levels up in here. Don't want to go there. Just want to get through this... A lesser dragon. Oh, that guy's got some defense. That's a tad scary. I like that defense, though. Good defense. Alright, Strabo. We want to red cage, I guess. Good work. I do like counterattacks. Those are always very fun. Oh, there's a lot of things now.
that's okay, because we are prepared to handle this. I mean, maybe not, but I'm going to say we are. Actually, we do have a fair bit of defense to this stuff, so we're probably fine. We've already seen most of this chapter in terms of environments. Like, we're kind of reaching almost the end of all the areas. Honestly. Alright, Dio. And Strabo! Yay! Someone really likes skulls around here. I don't have... Well, I guess that's kind of the best place I can... Holy crap, that's a lot of damage. What's that going to do to people? Okay, well, we're not dead. So I guess we'll just keep fighting this thing. I don't think we need to run just yet. In fact, that actually worked spectacularly. Dragon sword, obviously. We got this. And boom. Blue Squall. That should finish him off. That lightning effect is really quite nice. I like that. Okay. Well, it looks like we've got a lot of redundant rooms we don't need. So let's ignore these if we can help it. That should hit everything. Alright. Strabo. Use the Ice Squall. And Voice of God is always a good backup attack. And Dragon Sword. And Encage. More old man yelling, please. I recognize that sound effect from Secret of Mana. That little, like, dragon yell sound. Although I think it was used as an evil laughing sound in Secret of Mana. Alright. Is this where we need to go? Oh no, it's things that eat things. Whatever shall we do? Okay, Blue Squall. Voice of God. It seems like our kind of go-to attack combo right now. I'm just gonna pass with him. He kind of just sucks, honestly. Some hero. There's no hero like Dio. And then Voice of God should take care of everything else, really. We could have just passed straight to that, honestly. Alright, there's a box. We don't want to pick that up because, of course, we don't. That's how this chapter works. Don't pick up anything. It's a bad idea. Encage should hit everything. Ah, not quite. I should move down. That would have... But we do what we can. Magic of God's protection. That's an AoE counter, too. That's nice. Don't need Blue Squall, just use Silverwind. Nope. Not quite. Good counter, though. Just gonna Voice of God some more. Alright. We must navigate this. For this maze, it
It is our trial to prove that we are the hero that everyone believes us to be. And also that we're not just relying on Strabo. Who would ever rely on Strabo? That's a dumb idea. Voice of God. Alright. Let's try top left. Alright. This seems like progress. Treasure, don't want it. Don't need it. Dio needs not all the extra crap he can find lying around. I'm just gonna run from this fight because I don't want to deal with this. More treasure. It's almost like they just want us to take all this treasure, but I don't want to be materialistic like that, you know? You gotta get away from possessions, or else they possess you. I think that's a loose Buddhist quote or something. Alright. Actually, now would be the time to use Blue Squall, although Voice of God will probably take care of everything for us. Can't hit it with Dragon's Sword. I'm just gonna steal the victory from you. Because I'm the better hero. I wonder what this could mean. Surely this has nothing to do with anything. Let's move on. It's the demon! Hey, I'm the hero, buddy. Oh, and it's the end of chapter boss theme. We got this. Alright. So, let's take him down with something like that. Let's see what Moondown does. Uh-oh, that could be a problem. 0 damage. Strabo, let's use Silverwind. That still seems to be one of your more effective attacks. Not bad. You're making them melt. Whoa, okay. And that was our healer. I would have preferred you not do that to him. Heal? Can we do that? No. Yeah, use that on him. He's our team healer. We need him not to be dead. Okay, we're just gonna move... let's move Dio up front. Maybe that'll at least get him to try and hit us. Bonk. Alright, that works for me. Go after Strabo. That move is genuinely scary. Okay, more Silver Cage. That should hit. Right? That looks like that'll hit us right. There we go. Okay, we want to... yeah, let's use that healing technique. I think the real trick here is to shred people out as much as you possibly can. Okay, let's move Hero Boy out here. Because he might not be the real hero, but, you know, if he takes care of business, I'm not complaining. Bonk. Okay, okay. That might be scary. Well, that was no good. Good counter, though. Okay. Whoops. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay. Up one. We really need to get Dio back in the fight, because he's kind of doing the most he can. Alright, there we go. Oh, that's bad, though. Oh, no. Things might be going a little bit wrong right now. Oh. Oh. And alas, we got beaten. Alas. ass. And the princess got eaten by the demon, and we didn't save anywhere near where we were, did we? What was the last time we saved? Oh, crap. Okie doke, well, I've been doing this for an hour and a half, so I guess we'll continue this next week. Tomorrow we'll be back with Gotcha Force.
I mean, I assume it's going to be the final
that
episode.
one. I mean, all we have left is the final bottles. But before we do that, I think it's important that we, you know, set up a team. Because we've had a trusty little team here, but we might have to do a little bit of modification. Because Deathborg Sigma 2, as awesome as he is for a low-cost Gotcha Borg, not going to be too helpful in the final fight. Not in my hands, anyway. Vlad, maybe not as well. So let's see what we can do. Let's just get rid of Deathborg Sigma 2. It was nice having him on our team for, like, all of it. And let's see what... Actually, I'm sad. What level did Deathborg Sigma 2 end up with? Level 8. We never did get the final version of him. I'm sad about that. Okay. So, we have 880 plus maybe 1210, basically, to work with. So, something like Garuda we could throw in our party. And him being a flyer could be pretty useful. But, again, in my hands and in the final fight, that might be too much of a gamble. Barrier Girl could be good. But that's pretty high cost. And we already have one very high cost Girl Borg in Cyber Girl, who I think is infinitely more useful. Other potentials that could be quite effective. I probably wouldn't use them myself, but any of the Machine Borgs that have like the Javelin shots, I think Prototitan has one. Let's check. Yeah, he's got the beam javelins. These are going to be, if you're fighting the final boss, these Javelin shots are like ridiculous because they basically hit for basically infinite hits. So, without spoiling it, the final boss has a shield. These things are like one of the few things that can just break it. Because the shields do have health, it's just an absurd amount. So that could be good if we wanted one of those. Might be worth trying Ruby Knights. Like, I'd like Sapphire Knight, because I do like the beam extension he's got, but for the extra 50 points, it might be better to employ Ruby Knights. That said, he is a newcomer. He's untested, so to speak. We haven't used him for this entire playthrough. Gatling Gunner would be pretty good. Gatling Gunner's a good mainstay for this, but the problem is, unlike Girl Borg, he doesn't have very much movement, which you're... especially during the latter stages. If you want to have a Gatling Gunner, you're going to want to use him early on. In fact, I'm inclined to throw Vlad earlier up the tree, just because if we keep him, he's going to get less and less useful as the fight goes on. But we have 290 more points. What could we do for that? We could get a Battle Girl or a Wire Girl. I never realized Wire Girl costs less than Battle Girl. That's honestly a little surprising. We don't want Spinner Girl. Spinner Girl isn't going to be super useful for something like this. What can we do with the extra stuff? I'd like to get one more decent Gotcha Borg, and I don't want to try and have to grind. Flame Gunners, or Flame Ninjas way too much. Flame Gunner. That would be a Gotcha Borg right there. Unfortunately, all the Borgs I really want to use are too expensive with our current setup. We could ditch Vlad. We could ditch Ruby Knight, but I would like to use them as well. Something like Samurai Shogun might be useful, just for the raw damage output, as would be Gold Hero. But I don't know. I think we're just gonna see what we can do with our team and see if we can beat this guy. That said, I'm worried because I know this is a pretty long fight and he has a metric crap ton of health. But let's see what we can do with the final battle against Galactic Emperor. So before we begin, we get a nice little everyone coming together just to show how far the Gotcha Force has come and that grown-ups are useless. I should be insulted, but to be fair, I was a kid when this game came out, so. Even the useless Kitsune showed up. At least Yuji's obviously like, hey, I'm not gonna be useless. I'm not gonna be useful for this fight, so don't expect much. If you see Tama in this fight, you've done something horribly wrong. Met has never been useful. Kotaro is the worst thing ever. Good old Sho. He'll be useful. He'll kick some ass and take some names. And of course, Orochi. So we have the leader of the Gacha Force, the greatest enemy of all Gachaborgs, formerly, now the greatest enemy of the Death Force, and the former greatest Death Commander of them all teaming up to save the Erath. Let's, hope I don't cock this up too badly, but I probably will because I remember this fight actually being kind of hard. But let's do it. Now, in case you couldn't tell by the picture of this shot, we actually get to fight in an exclusive arena, my favorite area in the game, and we get the best music for like the first 20% of the fight. So that's cool. Let's go with our new Force C with some slight modifications. Just one enemy this time.
This is a big show. We'll win.
You don't really get a sense of scale for him in this shot, but he's huge. Like, he is a fortress, but he's like the size of... Well, each one of those platforms is bigger than a Sirius, so he's kind of big. He is the stage, so to speak. And that's actually why we have to fight him on, like, the stratosphere itself. Because it's the only environment in the game that's actually big enough to house his model. Like, I've got his character, and I can tell you no other stage actually fits him. Also, those little things at the bottom, when you kill them, activate a little teleporter underneath them that sporadically activates. If you happen to use Galactic Emperor as a Gachaborg, that is literally the only thing you get, is those little turrets, and they don't respawn. So after that, he's completely autopilot. Now, we need to destroy these turrets on top of him to destroy that barrier he's got. Although, if we had a Gachaborg that did enough damage, like that, that barrier just pops. The weird thing is, the first time you come up here, you have no way of actually targeting, like, the upper turrets. And here's where the in-game camera with the lock-on system is just objectively bad. This is part of the reason why fighting this guy's a pain in the ass. Well, this and... he has a series of attacks that change depending on how much health he has. And it's not even like his final attack that's his worst, it's his penultimate attack that's just unfun. Like, you'll see when we get there, assuming I don't completely destroy this. And, like, lose on the first form. I can't believe I've already taken as much damage as I have. But we're gonna try and go in and do some damage. This is why I kind of think Vlad would be okay. Like, he can sit here and do a lot of damage to him up close. But as the fight goes on, that becomes less and less of a viable option. But we get to enjoy the dulcet tones of Galactic Proportion, the best song on the soundtrack, which I also used for the Borg of the Week for him, expressly because it's the best song on the soundtrack. You might also notice that there was some special entry voice clips by our team. When I did my Borg of the Week on Galactic Emperor, I made an intro using every single character's intro to that. That was a choice I made before I even made this a series. Like, I decided when I made the first one, if I finally do get to Galactic Emperor, I gotta do something like that. Like, that was just something I had planned for 4.5 years, and I'm so happy I actually got to utilize that. That was... It meant a lot to me personally to do that, but, you know, that series in general just meant a lot to me. That's why I made it. I made it for me, no one else. The fact that people actually watch it is kind of strange to me, honestly, but I love that there are people who actually do want to watch it. I'm honestly surprised we've done as much damage to him without losing a Gachaborg yet as we have, but like I said, it's his, like, last phase that is the worst thing ever. And we're actually doing relatively well. It'd be nice if that teleporter just was permanently on, but it's not.
Please turn on. There we go. Oh! Yeah. Getting thrown off this guy's annoying. That plays into why one of his final forms is like the worst thing ever, because, spoilers, it involves getting thrown off him a whole bunch. But he started off being completely vulnerable, and it looks like Orochi just bit it. Oh shoot, this is the worst phase he's got. Because he throws ice at you. And that ice freezes you and knocks you about. So you can basically become knocked off him and then in-capped. And then get back up only to get hit again. Also, Orochi got taken out, that's why he saw Kakeru. Fortunately, Sho's still proving to be the most competent teammate you'll ever get in this game. Which is good. I'm going to stay at a distance for this chunk, just because I'm genuinely terrified of the ice. You have no idea how many runs of this fight have completely been destroyed because of this form. Especially early on, like my first playthrough and stuff, when I didn't have all the Gachaborgs ever, it's like, those ice chunks do an absurd sum of damage. I was really hoping I wouldn't have Vlad by this point, honestly. So this might not be the best form for this fight, but the nice thing is Vlad has survivability options. Currently he doesn't have much else. Also, you might notice that the music just changed from the best song on the soundtrack to, you know, one of the better ones, although the English version removes all the lyrics. We are Gacha Force. That is a trigger to the character. It's not specific to this fight. So if you happen to use Galactic Emperor somehow, because he's not supposed to be readily playable anyway, anytime Galactic Emperor's health goes below about 75% to 60%, it swaps. And if you're like me and you want to try using multiple Galactic Emperors, yeah, each time one of them takes damage, it'll do that. So see, this is the problem with this phase and most Gachaborgs. And unfortunately, Vlad is getting nothing out of that. And this is kind of why I wanted Ruby Knight, because Ruby Knight has a decent range attack. He's got a shield, which might help with the ice, is my theory. And really, it's just, I need to get out of this phase. If I can get out of this phase, I'm a lot more comfortable fighting this guy. But this frickin' ice, man, is the worst. Also, like Antares, he has his own little, like, fangs he throws out to basically just go after you autonomously. Oh, no. Yeah. Ice, you take a lot of damage from one hit of it, and you're probably going to get hit by multiple ones, and you're probably going to get thrown off. It's basically a combination of all the worst things that could possibly happen all at once. And whoever thought it was a good idea to do that, I don't like them at all. But, you know, otherwise we're doing okay. I'm hoping... we got Mana and Usagi. Oh, I was really hoping Mana got taken out and Usagi replaced her. And we still had Sho out there. But Mana is clearly pulling her weight. As long as she doesn't get taken out, we're actually quite in a nice, healthy position, so to speak. But this is kind of why I didn't want to use a Gatling Gunner. Like, Gatling Gunners are great for just doing a lot of raw damage. This is the phase why you don't want to do that, because those ice chunks are huge, and the Gatling Gunners don't have much of a dodge to save themselves. Oh. Okay, we're not dead. Oh, they're both up there. Crap, I was really hoping to get another heal from Mana before she bit it. Or ideally, she would have just hung out down here and not died. Okay, well, maybe we can get near Mana and she'll do something of value. We can hope. Although I'm not terribly hopeful of... Oh, crap. Yeah, that's going to take out Mana. Yep, there's Satomo. Okay, well, we made a pig's breakfast of this, but we'll see what we can do about it. And we've already wasted a good amount of time, so we're probably not even going to be able to do much about this, but hopefully
Also, I don't know if it's become clear yet, but as we did more damage, similar to how he swapped phases, he's actually swapped phases, I think, twice since he got ice. He just starts shooting it progressively faster and faster, which is... you know, at its slowest, it's not bad. At this, you have no choice in survival with, like, a Gatling gunner. You're just gonna die. This is the phase. This is why they're scary, and this is why Tsutomu, probably our most heavily armored teammate that wasn't Sho or Tama, is now gone, and we're dealing with Tetsuya, a melee specialist, which, yeah, there's a reason why we didn't use Vlad, or Vlad was wildly ineffective. It's because melee ain't so good here. But if they can take out that other turret, I'm gonna go crazy with some bombs, and hopefully my ruby bombs will knock him out of this phase. But it really just depends on how much ice he chucks my way and if I can take it all out. And I could not. But we're actually not doing horribly. Also, shields are useful when you can aim them properly. It's definitely a Link to the Past logic with shields. You have no actual defensive options other than just stand vaguely in the direction and hope you intercept the shot. Which, you know, as a fan of A Link to the Past, I rented it a lot when I was a kid. I didn't know for the longest time your shield actually did anything. Oh god. So, we already know Vlad's gonna be not very useful in this fight. I don't know how the AI controlled Vlad is gonna be fair. Oh, there goes Ruby Knight. Oh, this is gonna be tight. Okay. Well, now we're not messing around anymore. We're using G-Red. Which, you know, does mean that if nothing else, we stand a decent shot. I feel like we should just let our teammates take out that thing, because if we take out that turret, or they take out the turret and we get close enough to Galactic Emperor, we're basically screwed. But I can sit here and do some damage to his shield. Ah, Nikobe, you... Nikobe dies. Literally the moment I need someone not to die so I can use my hyper mode. Okay, so I think we're on his final phase at this point. His final phase is just homing shots, basically. Which are annoying. Yeah. He shoots a lot of those. Worst case scenario, if I have to do this again, I will just load up on Neo G Red. Like, I've got a bunch of them. Ow. Yeah, he can shoot through him, too. So this is not an easy fight by any means. Actually, if I really wanted to just do an absolute jerk move, it would probably crash the game. But I could... I think I have just enough points that I could throw Galactic Emperor on my team and see which one of us wins. Whoa! God! Oh! Yeah, this fight ain't fun. I like it better when he's not doing stupid ice nonsense, though. Also, Tama parks himself right below him, so... Yes, not the most useful teammate you're ever going to get. And in all actuality, we're in a lot of trouble right now. But... we could break that thing. Actually, what it is we just wasted our turbo when we really didn't want to do that. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. We have made a horrible mistake.
Alas, I think we might be done. This will be the first official loss. Because time travel shenanigans prevented that loss against Show, obviously. To be fair, I think I probably would have gotten this had I not wasted that one turbo, and had Nakobe not gotten completely destroyed right when I needed him not to die. Oh god. Hey Tama, you want to finish the guy off, please? Because if I keep dodging, I might actually survive. And if you were kind enough to, no, there it is. Alas, our first official loss on the final boss of the game because Death Arc. No, it's my fault. Although, to be fair, had I had the shot, I would have taken it. We're going to remove Vlad. Unfortunately, he got no use out of us. We get 260 points for it, though, which is generous. We could do some really mean stuff with 620 points. What do we want to do with that? Well, we could almost get Sapphire Knight on board. I already have Ruby, though. Samurai Shogun could be good, as could Gold Hero. We could put Gold Hero back on our team to return. Alright, let's do that. Let's throw good old Gold Hero back up here. Still have room for 200 more. We could have thrown another G-Red on. We could have. Like, I've got a bunch of Neo G's in storage, but I mean, I think doing that would be kind of not great. That would be a kind of not a great move. I don't have enough for Wire Girl. Crap. What can I use for 200 points? Well, we're doing this now, I guess. Because why not? Although, if we are doing that, I hate to do it to Planet Hero, but I think we gotta lead with Deathborg Sigma 2. So let's try this again. Unfortunately, we can't skip through this with the simple start button. That would be nice if we could. Oh man, you know, I think if Tama did get one more charge off, we would have taken him. That loss was just a series of a lot of really small errors coming together to be one large loss. Like, had we not lost Hyper right when Nakobe died, or rather, Nakobe died right when I went to use it, we might have been able to do something with that. Had Tama got one more charge off, or even one more shot off, that might have done it. Had I not wasted it one turbo near the end, that would have been it. So, you know, it was a lot of really small errors on my part. But to be fair, this is the first loss we've taken. And if it's against the final boss, I'm not entirely gutted about it. Because this is actually a genuinely hard fight. Because not only are you fighting an actually genuinely very difficult boss, but you're fighting the camera a lot too. Like, I love what they did with the camera, the fact that they've got like a threat indicator to sort of give you an idea of what's going on, but yeah, it's still not quite what you need it to be. And right here, like, this is me swapping targets. I can't right now. So I can sit here and take out that thing, or I can target the other turrets, but either way, I'm not getting much of an actual, like, comfortable way of aiming at enemies, so to speak. I care not for the flashing, though. I forgot how much this boss fight flashes. It's not that bad, but man, I'm starting to get a bit of a headache. Photosensitivity's fun, except not. Alright. Let's do it, Orochi. I think Sho also gets a boost. Yeah, everyone gets a boost. Alright, well, we took him through his first phase.
second phase is not too bad either. It's his third phase when he starts introducing ice that becomes a problem, as I've said numerous times. And really, it's just when the ice speeds up that it becomes really a problem. This little... I don't even know what they are. I think they're supposed to be Deathborg moos, but I'm not sure. If they are, they're like a special boss-only variant, sort of like the Antara's bits. Like, you can't get them, and they act a little bit different. And they're a lot pointier looking than actually said Deathborg. So it's like a little baby one or something. That javelin shot right about now would be super useful against this guy. Honestly, this guy's like the one guy that javelin shot actually matters against. I mean, you could, I guess, make the argument Barrier Girl, because she does have sort of a similar concept, although her barrier is significantly weaker. But, no, really, it's this guy. This is the reason why you need javelin shots for everything. Okay. Well, we got a few extra Gotchaborgs this time. A little bit more muscle. Haven't used up Planet Hero at this point, which is good. Still around. And we're not going to throw away a Gotchaborg in Vlad this time. I hope. I mean... I guess you could say we threw away Sigma, because we could have done more with him, maybe, but... Even that, I think he did a decent job for what we were asking of him. That said, you know, I've heard of people taking this guy out entirely using the Cockroach and the Death Eye. Like, just one Gotchaborg. Those are people who have, like, functional hands, though. And a lot more skill than me. Like, I'm not going to blame everything on my motor skill problems, but, you know, that's a part of it. Well, part of it's just that I'm bad at everything. I'm willing to accept that. And I jumped right off. Well, I managed to land. But yeah, this level is significantly taller than any other stage in the game, and it's just to accommodate this. How's Sho doing? Sho is not doing so good. Crap. Because Kakeru is going to eat it pretty quick. If we were lucky, and I've never been lucky in my life. I mean, I've been struck by lightning 3 times for crying out loud. But if we were lucky, Kakeru would die, Mana would spawn, heal Sho, and possibly me, if again, we're talking like the most lucky we could ever be. That'd be nice. Alright, there we go. Oh crap, okay. Well, we hit the phase where we get to play the less good theme song. But the one that sounds like something out of like a 70s Sentai or something. I timed that exactly wrong. And, of course, that teleport's not always on, which is annoying. Yep, Sho bit it. Hey, Mana, where are you? Oh, you're up in the sky. Of course you are. In the front line, exactly where a nurse should be. That just makes sense. Okay, well, Mana, come heal me now. Thank you. I do appreciate that every character has like their own variant of thanking you if you heal them. That would require you to play a Nurse Borg, which isn't the most useful way to play this game. Like, I think Orochi says something like, you shouldn't have done that, or it was like a waste of time, or something like that. But, like, everyone has their own, like, way of acknowledging that they're being healed. And it's kind of cute that they do that. Just a little bit more personality. There's Kakeru, which means Mana bit it. Again, medic. Front lines, not, you know, in the back doing medic support stuff. Okay, Kakeru, let's go. Now, hopefully, we don't eat nothing but ice. Not that it matters when we're this low to the ground.
Might still be able to get a couple of shots off down here, but not much. And that's fighting this camera with the teleporter. That's why the teleporter just needs to always be on. This is not the best way they could have ended this game, I'm not gonna lie. Well, there goes Usagi, which is a shame because Girlborg can do an awful lot of damage when you let him. Okay. Alright. Well. And Tetsuya's gonna promptly bite it, because why would they put a melee character this far down the roster? I don't know. Oh wait, most of them are. Oh. Alright. If I can time my embiggenment when I kill the last turret, that'll at least make our lives a little easier. Granted, if Tsutomu does something, I can't do anything about that. Fortunately, Hyper Mode does prevent you from being frozen, which is good, because we need that. Poop. Just, thrilling boss fight right now. Sitting, waiting. You know, at least with mana around, I could, you know, survive a little longer. Tetsuya, it's, a bit less likely, what with him being a melee character, and not useful in this fight in the slightest, really. Especially once ice gets involved. Oh, there's Nikobe. And, you know, if I can't use Vlad within some modicum of decent success against this guy, I don't know how the AI plans to. But all the more power to them for trying. As I smack Tetsuya, rather, in the back. Tsutomu's already bitten it. Oop. Okay, so there's still one more target. Oh, I didn't want to take that damage. Fortunately, we're doing pretty well. We're in our second Gotcha Borg, and his worst phase is almost over. That said, even though his final phase does not simply freeze you to death and then fling you off and make you regret ever living, this phase just dumps damage on you really, really fast, so this could still go real sideways on us very quickly. If Thomas spawns and we could get Hyper Mode with a charge attack from him, though, that wouldn't hurt my feelings. Whoop! Also, good evasion there, Planet Hero. But yeah, this is like a 20-minute long fight when you know what you're doing. Alright, let's hopefully not die horribly this time. No promises. Yeah, you can't even get close to him because those will just hit you. Good luck with your standard gunman there, Kotaro. You can continue to be the most useless character in this game. Whoa! Ah, alright. Well, we got Gold Hero next. Still, we still have, you know, Ruby Knight, our signature Borg, and Neo G. So, I'm pretty comfortable right now, honestly. I don't want to jinx it, but I think we're doing okay. I think it could be significantly worse than how we're currently doing. And if we could get Hyper Mode before that takes down, like that, we're going to be put in a really nice position. Okay, so Kotaro and Kitsune are on the case. I have no faith in Kitsune, and he's the one we need to actually do stuff.
Okay, so Kitsune flung off into nowhere. Alright, let's do it. We're just gonna spam super beams. The return of gold hero. Whose insane damage output will do it first? It will be us. Boom! Even gets a dying line.
We showed them.
Boom. It makes me wish I had a gold hero figurine instead of the 2 girl Borgs I have, but my 2 girl Borgs are great. They're just not Cybergirl. Whew. And that's it. That's the final fight of Gotcha Force. In Stratosphere, an exclusive level. There's a lot more people there than there were actually members of the Gotcha Force. And Orochi becomes a regular kid again, who was originally supposed to be Mana's sister, Mina, but that plot point got axed. But it still feels like it's kind of there. There's a lot of kids in the background I don't recognize because they weren't in the game. Also, Satomu's looking a bit weird. And it looks like the Gotcha Force is here to stay, except Capcom will not make a sequel. Also, not Neo G-Red anymore, just regular G-Red. Not explained. Win percentage, 99%. I call bullshit on that final fight. That was just a random amount of nonsense that just culminated in failure. That makes me sad. But we do have all the Gotcha Borgs, although we didn't collect them all this playthrough. Single was 14 hours. I'm surprised it took that long. Most used teammate will be in the background, so Show, which is pretty obvious. Where is that? Where is the Show? Yeah, team, 46 times. I wonder why. It could be because he's the most competent teammate you've got. I only used Orochi 5 times, and I think every single one of those times was mandatory. Used Usagi pretty much until I had to use Nikobe. And then when I couldn't use Nikobe, I used Usagi. I'm surprised I used Kataru 9 times, and those are each and every time mandatory. Hate him so much. I'm kind of surprised you only have to fight Sho 7 times. Honestly. It feels like you have to fight these guys a lot more. Boom. There's Yuji with his many Yujiisms, like being upside down, and Orochi being weird and out of place because it's not the Orochi we know. And I think that's like straight up the probably 57th time I've beaten this game. I'm sad I lost once though. That really sucks. But I guess that's it for the story of Gotcha Force. There's one more thing we could do. Maybe we'll do that. This could go really sideways for us, but we're going to make a Dream Force for us. And we're going to try something. Something that could go either really, really well or really, really bad. New Force C was what we used. Okay. Well, we gotta have our final Borg at the end because they're our signature. It's our signature on the end of a battle. Hopefully we never actually have to see it. Neo G's there for safety. Everything else we could basically move wherever. You know what? I'm gonna put Ruby Knight there. Those two there. I'll move him to 4th. I'm gonna reinstate our boy Vlad as number 3. And now we just have to pick a team of like 22 other Gotcha Borgs. I'm not going to include Galactic Emperor for obvious reasons. I will include G Black, just to show him off though. What do I want to include? I don't really want to use Fortress if I can help it. We'll use Samurai Shogun. We'll use Zawardo. Throw him out for 25, I guess. Ooh! Ooh, ooh, ooh! Hell yeah, we're using Garuda. About time Garuda gets some use. Gotta use Acceleration Ninja, one of my favorite Gotcha Borgs of all time. I did regret not being able to use Time Bomber. So we'll use him, we'll use Wire Girl. I'm definitely gonna throw Barrier Girl up near the end. What the hell? We'll use the other 2 Cyber Girls as well. So at the 15 mark, you'll get Super. And then Hyper will show up at the 10, I guess. If I can find her. Where is she? Where are you, Hyper? Ah, there you are. Right next to Super. Alright, Hyper will be, I guess, at the... Actually, we'll throw her at the 20. I remember Hammer Robot actually being kind of decent. I'll throw Hammer Robot in. We'll throw Proto Blue because he is good old gun cannon. Favorite of mine. Beam Tank is ridiculous. So we'll throw good old Beam Tank in there. I actually kind of liked Demon Wing. And we'll throw both Samurai demons out there because they're pretty good. I want to use this guy, the Bug Knight. Alien Insect, as other people might know them incorrectly. I gotta have Shadow Girl and Killer Girl. Like, Shadow Girl's not that great, but I do own both of their figures. So I feel like I owe it to them to have them on my team. Gotta throw Sapphire Knight on there. I think the world would have a shit fit if I didn't have Cyber Ninja on here because he's like the world's favorite gacha Borg. Throw the rest of his team on here too, because why not? Is that the full team? It looks like it. Okay. So that's our force. It would cost 15,000 to deploy, which is, oh gosh, effectively like 8 times. Well, it's over 5 times the total you'd get in a single playthrough, and that's if you grinded. Now this could go really sideways on us. Really, really, really fast. But I can't think of any other way I would end this but to do it this way. We're going to go to Versus. I didn't realize I had a second controller in here. Only going to use one controller. Not going to have a teammate. Teammates are for the weak. Alright. Now we're just going to... The max value you can employ is the total value of all, like, your highest level force. So unfortunately, it's not going to be a perfect system, ideally. We're going to use our new Force C. And, I think there's a way to... There we go. Select CPU stuff. Question mark and question mark. Basically what this does is they're going to randomize a team out of gacha Borgs that they could play as. Which means we could potentially run into a situation where they both end up with Galactic Emperor, and it will be an absolute disaster. But, ideally not. But we're going to play in the Stratosphere because we only get to see it once, and it is the best stage. Hopefully we get the best song. I'm not seeing Galactic Emperor. Ah, this song. I care not for this song. This was how I had to record Fusion Borgs. Was having to basically play in multiplayer with myself, playing a controller with my hands and one with my feet. Fortunately, I don't have to do that now. Unfortunately, I'm on my own. Although it does seem like the enemy energy totals are cumulative as opposed to like the value that we could employ is that of the total that I selected, not the total for each potential participating party. It also sucks that you can't do like a straight up thing where it's like a 4-way free-for-all type of thing. Although you can do 2-on-1, and I think you can do 1-on-1, but, you know, let's see how good I actually am. Aside from someone who lost one fight, and I'm still angry about that. Now, because their forces are semi-random and based on total and not number of gacha Borgs, we actually don't know how many Borgs they have. They could have full teams of 30, they might have splurged on some really expensive Borgs for all we know. All we know is their total value is that of what I selected. But that also creates an interesting sort of thought experiment for budgeting your team as well. Like, if you have X number, it's interesting to see how wildly different a team could be. I mean, based on randomness in case of AI, but in the case of like a player, based on preference and what they kind of prioritize in their team setups. I just killed you. Although I think I killed the Transformer and you're the tank, or the other way around. I'm just going to take out you, because you're going to be a pain in my ass. Boom. Boom. I was really hoping that wouldn't happen. I mean, so far, I'm at least keeping pace, and I'm ahead of the enemy. Haven't lost a Gotchaborg yet. And I think they've collectively lost 6 of potentially 60. So I think we're doing okay. I don't want to use Hyper Mode if I'm this close to dying. And there it is. And I don't really want to use Hyper Mode while they're doing it, just by virtue that ultimately they're going to get super armor off that, and they're going to be far less affected than they could be by my shots. I'm really sad that Deathborg Sigma didn't really get to see his full day. That's a copy, man. Like, I would have loved to have been able to actually level them up to max. In fact, I actually had one on another memory card, but I chose not to do that just because it felt a little cheap to not have Gotchaborgs at level 1. Although I think Neo G was level 10, but that was like literally because he was transferred off my first save. And there wasn't a lot I could have done about that. I think that Knight's going to be a bigger threat to us than this Jelly Diver is. That slowdown field of his kind of sucks, but as long as we don't get in it, we're fine. Whereas that Knight is genuinely scary because he has a ranged attack that moves somewhat faster. And he's got a shield, so he can theoretically block our shots. Oh, God. Oh. And that was for me talking shit about Airborgs all this time. I mean, justly so. They're the worst things, but also, I just used a Deathborg to take out a Nightborg in a melee contest. Thank you. I'm gonna hold that as a badge of honor. I'd like to at the very least take that guy out, but that ain't happening. Okay, well, this is not ideal. Vlad, oh crap. G-Red, you're not allowed to stomp all over Japan like that. Have some respect. Whoa! Holy crap, Vlad is just not doing anything today. Come on, buddy. You're the unkillable, sexy purple vampire knight. Do something sexy and purple and vampire knightly of you. I'm very scared about that G-Red. Mostly because it's G-Red, and he can do a lot of really scary things. Okay. Oh crap. That's a Tau Master. And Tau Masters like to throw their swords out and attack you from a distance. And those are pretty hard to dodge. I'm not so good at employing them, though. Which is why I don't use them, although I've thought about it. That's Deathborg Alpha. Now, if I wanted to play the role of someone who wanted to play this as strategically cheap as I possibly could, what I would do, understanding that one of my opponents is clearly using a very relatively weak Deathborg, I would then keep him alive and then just focus on his teammate until his teammate ran out of partners. I'm not going to do that, but he's not giving me a lot of options, seeing as his next Gotchaborg was also a Deathborg, but what can you do? Alright. Pop Honey, not giving us one final ballad. Alas. Oh crap. Alright, so we're fighting my favorite Gotchaborg now. That's not ideal at all for me. And it hurts me personally that I have to do it. Oh, please, computer. You think you know how to use this Cyber Girl? You know nothing. Oh, crap. Arrow ninjas. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that right now. The Venom Worm. Here's G Black. He was only available as a contest thing. Or, if you were me, you knew someone who actually worked at Capcom and just got you one for your memory card. That's how I got G Emperor as well. But he's basically G Red. But he's got a cool visor, and he's got an instant shot visor beam. Which makes me realize something, like, this guy's effectively supposed to be G-Red. Like, he's an off-brand G-Red, effectively. But he has the... But G-Red is basically an exclusive Gachaborg that was never based on anything. However, this guy has the exact moveset of a Cyber Mars. Which makes me think that G-Red was probably supposed to be like a special personal Cyber Mars, although he's significantly smaller. And he doesn't have the big doofy walk cycle that Machine Red and Cyber Mars both have. But you wouldn't know about that unless you played as G Black, a relatively unusable Gachaborg for most people who don't cheat. But he's just as cheap as G Red. He just has one extra attack, really. And a sleeker style. And he gets a visor. But, you know, G-Red's just as cheap as this guy. Except he has an explosion with his beam. Alright. Ring Valkyrie. Not the biggest threat, although if she used her ring shot, I'd be a little scared. Just from extra damage I could take. Boop. And I believe G Black does actually have some exclusive, like, dialogue. I think it's the same as G Red's stuff, but, like, he has one extra sound effect that G Red doesn't have. And you only hear it if the computer uses it. It's like a grumbling sound or something when he dies. Because I don't think G Red has that. I don't use G Black all that much, though. Alright, I get to show off Samurai Shogun. Meow. He has a big laser slash, which is awesome. When it hits. And when it misses, it makes you feel like the biggest asshole ever for missing that attack. Like I did 3 times. Also, it does a crap ton of damage when it hits. And we've been graced with the presence of one of 4 Demon Borgs. Nice. Granted, 2 of them are basically Musha Borgs, but still. And the other 2 are effectively Wing Borgs. There's that ring shot I didn't want to get hit by. Thank you, Ring Valkyrie. I don't think they can employ duplicates, so I think this is the other computer using that. I don't think there's anything I can really effectively do about this. But this is about to be real bad for us. Because this is our friend Walking Bomb. Who does some things. We don't want him to do some things, because when he does some things, everything dies. But especially the thing he staples himself to. Oh, they got a big metal dragon, didn't they? Yep, they did. Okay. Actually, they got the small metal dragon. Pretty sure that's the small one. I'm pretty sure the big one is bigger. Ow. Don't like him so much, though. Alright. I always wanted to use Garuda, even though I'm terrible with Wingborgs. Let's do it. I would love to get a figure of Garuda. Again, I'm surprised that there's like 4 Gacha Force figures, so who knows, maybe there are more. I'd like all of them, what with me being the biggest fan of this game ever.
Holy crap, Gatling gunner. Don't even need to see it to know what it is. Wire girl. Interesting combo. She can get herself out of danger. I think a wire gunner would be a more threatening teammate for a Gatling gunner, though. Or an arrow ninja. An arrow ninja would basically be suicide to go up against with this guy. Ice Valkyrie. It's good to see you. Nice to see you, Ice Valkyrie. I'm quite happy we haven't seen any Fortress Borgs, because I don't want to fight them ever. Oh, they got hyper mode. And I think that's Spinner Girl? Just based on its attack, it looked kind of like Spinner Girl. Yeah, that homing attack of Garuda's is, like, stupidly OP. And that's partly why Show is actually... Ah, Delta 2. Actually, I think that's Delta 3. Classic mistake. Has basically the same moveset as a Spinner Girl. You know, I'm not allergic to my own attacks, so I can sit here and explode myself and kill you. So if you want to just pull me in closer, go nuts, buddy. What did I just get through saying to literally the same guy except purple? You know, I would have always thought that, like, the positive magnet robot would pull things towards him and the negative one would push him away. Or, like, if they were together, they could do, like, some weird sort of, like, polarity combo attacks or something. But they're literally just the same Gacha Borg. We've got a Deathborg new... I think that's just the regular Deathborg new, yeah. I'm quite familiar with that guy. I saw him a whole bunch. He was a training dummy for my series. What with there being a nice sterile environment filled with them at the start. Ah, and a Sigma. Nope, Lambda. That's a little less scary. Not significantly so, but the Sigma 2s are significantly scarier. Oh, I really don't want to be there. I'm glad I get to use Acceleration Ninja. This was the first Gacha Borg that ever really... I knew in my heart I needed to have. Like, this was the first one I ever fell in love with. And he's just doing this. Well, he can jump dash into things. And I'm pretty sure he's the only Gacha Borg that has the dash damage. Oh, I spoke too soon about there not being any freaking fortresses. Oh well. At least it's not G-Emperor, and at least they picked the stylish black Sirius in Death Arc. Tama would be proud. I'm not sure I would be, knowing that, but, you know, Tama would be. And that's something. Oh, that sucked. Being able to set up bombs is not super helpful in this situation. Although, counterpoint, it might be perfect. As long as I don't get knocked back like that. If I can get on top of Death Arc, forget about it. I think I could do some real damage with this guy. But I think he showed up, like, literally at the worst possible time. Yeah, didn't get to use him in any real capacity. Huh, good old Wire Girl. And Beam Gunner. One of the, in fact, the highest paid of the Gunner Corps. Personal friend of Cyber Ninja. So everyone likes him. Because they hope they can get in with his friend. Now I'm just gonna go back this way. It's almost like rewinding time, but not.
That's actually really helpful to avoid that charge attack. I've got another thing that can dispose of bombs. Boop. What was that? I just put a bunch of bombs around you? Yes, I did. Punch. I'm big and slow, and I don't give a damn. I think that's Time Bomber. Nope, Remote Bomber. He's gonna show me how it's done. I do like the big screw-off spiky ball fists this guy has. Oh god. Okay, he's out of Gotcha Borgs because he will just default to Death Eye now. Well, that or he selected a Death Eye, but I doubt it. Because we're pretty much at the end of this. Huh. And we got a... I was going to say a Death Samurai, but a Demon Samurai. Not the most useful Gotcha Borg when you don't have more things you can kill. Because this thing is basically made entirely possible by the fact that his swords get bigger with the more stuff you kill. Might be able to just go after these Death Eyes, just show it off, but yeah, it's not going to help in this situation. Eat little insects that explode and are actually kind of scary. Also, I have a shield, so I can block a lot of stuff if you let me. Holy crap, I'm actually doing a ton of damage to this guy. Kind of wish I used him more. But they don't give you a lot of points by the end of the game, so... Unless you're someone who's totally fine with completely messing with his lineup, you know, they don't give you a lot of options or opportunities to really try new stuff. If you find something you're good with, you should stick with it. That's always been my style of anything. Oh, hey, I've got a model of this girl. She guards my physical copy of Gotcha Force, which we're playing right now, but she's guarding the box along with her sister. She's also fun because she's the only Gotcha Borg that doesn't have a ranged attack. Although, if I could kill Death Arcus, that would sure show the world how awesome... Boom! I want it on the record. Shadow Girl is awesome. She took out freaking Death Arc without a ranged attack. Because she doesn't need it. Boop. I feel like that's a redemption story for probably the most mistreated Gotcha Borg of all. Like, people like to use Death Eye and Roach as like a challenge board, but no one uses Shadow Girl. And that makes me sad, because I like Shadow Girl. She's neat. Well, we didn't get to my partner, but we got her slightly beefier older sister. Younger sister, whatever. And hey, I got those little laser turret things off, which is interesting because for me, that never works. I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I did a thing I'd never done before in Gotcha Force. And to end the Let's Play series with that, you know what? I'm pretty happy with that. I wish I could end it with actual signature Gotcha Borg, but we'll use her pinker little sister, I guess. I hope she doesn't die here. That would... There's at least connective tissue to my favorite Gotcha Borg of all time if I use Super. Boom, and it finishes with those satellite guns that I've never been able to use. So you know what? I think I've grown as a person, once again, thanks to Gotcha Force. Hit ratio, 30%. Ouch. Dodge ratio, almost 90. That sounds about right. Defeated 59 Gotcha Borgs, and I lost 14. So somewhere along the lines, I think I kind of made up the fact that I lost to Galactic Emperor. Also, I killed a freaking goddamn fortress using Shadow Girl, the only Gotcha Borg without a ranged attack. I think somewhere along the lines I'm redeemed for that one stupid loss. But, yeah, I guess that's Gotcha Force for you.
one of my favorite games of all time, my favorite Capcom game of all time, and my favorite GameCube game that doesn't have ports on everything, anyway, of all time. Because, I mean, I can think of maybe 2 other GameCube games I like more, but they've got ports on stuff. But that'll be it for this. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, follow the stream to know when we go live, because we try and stream as often as possible. I believe we'll be back with Opoona tomorrow, or maybe an N64 multi-cart video. I know I need to stock back up on those. Live Alive's still coming, but we're getting close to the end of that too. And we are going to have to figure out what the hell we're playing next. I guess I'll set that up as a vote for the Discord, or ask for suggestions or something. I've got 1 or 2 ideas, but nothing concrete right now. Honestly, the things I want to do are mostly all like big long-form RPGs because they're my favorites. And outside of like the excuse that I'm doing it ostensibly for my job, I don't have time to play them too often anymore, and that makes me sad. But I know a lot of people don't watch my streams and stuff, and I figure maybe if I mix things up a little bit, maybe it'll get a little bit more attention. Who knows? But I can say that on my list of possibilities that I'd like to play, Skies of Arcadia is on there. Illusion of Gaia would be fun. I'd really like to play Steambot Chronicles again. So we've got some options, and we're going to have to replace 2 games. One immediately and one right quick, so there is that. But yeah, you might also want to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel, see everything else I do, which is a lot of stuff. Working on a review that should be done in a day or 2, hopefully weekend by the latest, but it depends how long it takes for YouTube to process it, because they're dumb like that. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's PayPal or Patreon. Support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do to the best of my ability, which in this case is spread my love of one of the most special games I've ever played, and show off just how good I am at Gotcha Force. Compared to everything else in life, I'd like to think that I'm at least good at this one thing. This might be the only thing I'd like to think I'm good at. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, Internet.